Carlton up against Collingwood, 3:05 on a Sunday afternoon. The crowd is building. I reckon there's about 65 to 70 in here on its way to 90 or 95 for McDonald's Rem Hot Water. Triple M Rocks Footy. We are privileged to be here on a Sunday afternoon with such a big game that decides some of the finals. Let's go around the ground. Choice Hotels need a break. Book, direct and save with Choice Hotels.
Yes, Brownie, thank you. Great to be here. Bulldogs, I'll just introduce myself. No, all good. Looking forward to this magnificent game. But it's the Bulldogs by 10 points over the Hawks, Brownie. 27 seconds to go before three-quarter time.
Brownie didn't realise that Jay slipped out, you slipped in.
Oh, is that right?
Ad breaking.
Well, you do get mistaken
Brownie.
for each other a lot. You do look alike. Well, we may as well get straight into some stats for Triple M Red Z Lending.
Jay-Z did on Dead Set Legends yesterday. He complained that someone called him Chew Man.
It's happened to him 10 times past 4 years.
You complain?
That's what I said. Is it a compliment?
Yeah, right.
I said, is it a compliment or an insult?
Yeah,
That's
there
right.
you
I think
go.
it's a compliment. Chew.
Never checked the Jay-Z. Nah. Triple M Red Z. Collingwood, they've won 6 out of the past 7 against the Blues. Now, look, concern for Carlton over the past 4 rounds is their centre clearances. So from rounds 1 to 18, they're third for centre clearances, first for scores, opposed to the past 4 rounds ranked 18th and 15th. Now, today, with Sam Walsh out, they're missing 3 out of their top 4 centre clearance winners in Hewitt, of course, Sam Walsh and Kennedy. But for the Blues, the last time they played against the Magpies, Harry Mackay didn't play, and his previous 2 matches against Collingwood, he's nailed 8 goals straight. And remember, Jacob Wiedering, he only played 12% game time against Collingwood in their last match. Just for the Magpies, look, Jack Crisp, his past 8 matches, his disposal average has fallen by 42%, from 27 per game down to 19. I looked at his minutes in the midfield. It's only fallen by 7% as well. So a little bit down for Jack Crisp, although he still is the number 1 rated player at the Magpies.
Still might be a smoky for all Australians.
That's sure, getting the job done. As always, for Triple M Red Z Lending Stats, as the Magpies make their way onto the MCG, and it's a pro-Carlton crowd, more boos than there are cheers as they break through the banner. And we're not far away from this one. I'm just seeing the Kiss boys out on the MCG.
Gene Simmons?
Yeah, Gene Simmons. You'd be a big Kiss fan, Ross.
So funny.
Ross just-
No, Gene Simmons. I was thinking about his tongue when he had that mask on earlier.
Can someone just rewind Ross up? I think the batteries have fallen out of Ross in the back row. True Man, you're going to see them on Wednesday night, I believe.
Tuesday night, I'm seeing Kiss Brownie for Red Z.
What's Gene doing here?
He's watching the football. He's a
He's
massive...
not singing, no.
Well, it actually brings me back to
massive Carlton supporter.
I remember the Kiss movie, getting the train from Reservoir Station into the CBD. It was big, you know, all the kids. It might have been year 7.
Yeah.
Just, it was a bit frightening on that Reservoir Station platform getting into the city.
And just Gene is the guitarist too.
He's the guitarist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. For McDonald's Rem Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy, exactly 13 minutes away from the game starting. Let's go into full game mode. Joey, Ross, Duck, what do we think? How's this going to play out?
I'll throw to the captain.
Oh, look, I think it's going to be a fantastic game. I think what we saw from Carlton, I know, Chew Man, they've been down a little bit over the last month or so, but what we saw last week, we saw the contest, didn't we? We saw them, that was the best game they'd played for a little while. I just thought they bought their A-grade game. They didn't quite get the result that they were after, but I think if they can back that up, if they can bring that intensity to this game, then I think they're a massive chance of winning, and it's for 2 reasons. Charlie Curnow and Harry Mackay. Now, what I want to see, I think Charlie Curnow's got it. I think Charlie Curnow will feed off this ground. You can just see that he's a type of player that will just thrive today in front of 90,000 people. I want to see Harry Mackay. I want to see him be really strong in the air. I want to see him tack it. I want to see him clunk a few early, kick a big goal early and get up and about. And even if he's not marking them, Ross, just compete. And I think if they get a good game out of their 2 pillars. So that's the difference, Joey, for me. The midfield, we know Collingwood's mids. We know Carlton are very strong through there, even though Walsh is out of this team. But if I look at both ends of the ground and I go, okay, so what's the difference? And I think that is it for me, Mackay and Curnow. The other check, you got Myercheck and Cox floating down there every down there, and Ash Johnson, who's just a kid. So that is the big difference. So can Carlton take advantage of that? Obviously, you got Moore. Who's the halfback?
More, you got
Howe and Murphy. So they're the guys that are going to have to do the job. We know that they like to guard grass, the Collingwood defenders. They play aggressive. They give you a chance. I reckon if you give these two a chance, I reckon they can almost take the game away from you. So it'll be interesting to see how they start.
Just on that, Carlton don't tend to pass in a lot. They kick long, which I think ties into the roll-off defenders. I've got a lot of ifs in this game. Both midfields have had some disruption. Adams is out. Last week, Collingwood couldn't settle on the midfield. They put Dacos in there. They put the half-back flanker Maynard through there. They were tossing him around a lot, and they didn't have that continuity they had. And then you go to Carlton. They still haven't got Hewitt. I think Walsh, as we know, is a huge loss. So Setterfield got it done last week. He went to Oliver and worked off him. Doherty went in, but can he come up a second week? Because it's physically taxing. I've got some concerns with their midfield. I think whichever midfield gets on top, you look there, Josh Dacos is doing the pre-game centre square bouncer, so it looks like he's going to be in there. I think De Goey's going to be pivotal in the result. Can he get going and support Crispin? I think Pendlebury's got to play a big game. For me, it's going to be won and lost through that midfield with Seibon. That's how I see it. And the concern with not tagging Dacos, because do Carlton tag? I don't think they do. You give him a free rein, Nick Dacos. So I was leaning towards Carlton, but I think with the outs, and they bring Williams in, who isn't a great runner. But the Giants say he come in, missed 10 weeks and had a great game. So
it's a big
rolling
risk,
the dice, the Blues a little bit, and I just think their midfield's a little bit thin. Can Chera stand up today under the big heat? That's what they got him here for. He's a pick 3. He's in his 5th year. Andy Brayshaw is getting it done in Fremantle. Today's Chera's moment to prove his worth to the Carlton Football Club.
You're both spot on. In a game like this, sometimes you keep it simple. Who can absorb and handle the pressure? If you remember this game, round 11, it was red hot the first half of the game. You know Collingwood are going to bring the heat and the pressure. Duck, as you said, if the Blues bring the heat and the pressure they bought last week, but which team can handle it? Who can then use the footy best off it? If Collingwood can get their flow, they'll challenge the Blues. If the Blues can absorb the pressure, use their hands and give their forwards a good look, the Blues will get on top. So it's going to be a midfield that can just absorb that pressure.
And someone spoke to me that Collingwood last time they played Carlton really passed the ball into their forwards and exposed the Carlton defenders who like most defenders, not playing anyone at the minute.
We couldn't have got a better day today for football either. And one man who loves his weather patterns and he follows and he looks it up and he loves it is Robbo down on the boundary for Bob Jane T-Marts. Buy 3, get 1 free plus instant cash back on top tyre brands. Call 13 26 25 or order online today, bobjane.com.au. Robbo.
Pleasant. It's pleasant down here, Roscoe, and northwest. It's just lovely for footy. I've just come from the President's lunch. I tell you what, talk about nervous. 600 crammed in there. They don't want to go outside and sit. I tell you, they're just waiting for the Sharon to be smashed down to start this one, but they are so nervous. The late change, as you know, Walsh out with that back, O'Brien in. Adam Chera, as Ross said, can he hold up? Zach Williams is the one with that calf. Hasn't played since mid-May. So there's doubt over Jagoe as well, but they wouldn't have thrown him in there unless he's 80%. And also Ginnivan had that hamstring scare, but he is okay as well. So it's been building for a fortnight, this thing. The joint's humming. Still people trying to get in. There's 2 nervous coaches. Vossi's just walking past me now, just sucking the whole thing. He's been here before, and Fly's just done an amazing job. Charlie Curnow, Coleman medalist, he's won it. He's 62 plus, going there beautifully. So well done to that. The Richard Pratt Cup too, all about prostate cancer and awareness. Well done to him. The med subs, Ollie Henry and Jack Nunes. I'm going for the Pies in rivalry, hatred on the green stuff. I love it. Can't wait for the bounce.
I think that's your best of the year, Robbo. That's why he's the best in the business down on the boundary for Bob Jane T-Marts. Summed it up beautifully. And if you want to watch this game, if you like it, Carlton or Collingwood win, and then it might be on the Listener app. Triple M Footy live on the Listener app. Download it now, LISTNR. And this is the Triple M Footy preview. 5 minutes to go for TaylorMade Golf. The all-new Stealth Drive for TaylorMade with a 60-layer carbon face that delivers unparalleled distance and forgiveness. But this game's going on, really important. MCG, 95,000, but there's a game on down in Tasmania where the Bulldogs have to beat the Hawks.
Spot on, Brownie. Goal to the Hawks early into the final quarter. 2 minutes in. It's the Bulldogs 9-12-66 leading Hawthorn by 4 points, 10-62. If we look at the live ladder, yes, Bulldogs currently level on points with Carlton. However, there's a 1% differential between the two sides. Bulldogs still sitting currently 9th on the live ladder.
And that started at 0.9% today, Ash. So once that game is over, and if the Bulldogs do win that game, I want you to tell me what it all means and how much percentage they need. Okay, last couple of minutes, let's sum it up. Ross, the best in the business, and Duck on the Seabus Super special comment. Seabus Super making hard work pay off.
I know we've already spoken about a couple of individual players. I just want to go back to De Goey, because since the bye, we forget this, he's only played 3 of the last 8 games. So he wouldn't be at his peak physical. And I know he was playing well, Joey,
great point,
before he went out, but it's not a lot of games in the past 8. So, is he at absolute full fitness? There's always a question mark when you bring guys straight back in. So now let's go to Carlton. So a guy like Williams, who's missed so much footy, and you bring him back in, clearly he's in their best 22 when he's fit, but he's clearly not 100% fit.
It's a risk.
And he's not a great runner, even off a pre-season he blows, but... there's a history of being brought back after 10 weeks out. Look, he's a special player with the ball. I think if he can control his run off half-back, he gives them... Because you lose Doherty, you put him into the midfield. It's going to be a miracle, really, for Carlton's midfield without what they're missing. No Walsh, no Hewitt, and no Kennedy. They were their A grade. And De Koning, who played in the twos. Can we touch base on that? Hickey last week, the mobile ruckman, tore apart Cox and Cameron, and had 30, almost gave him BOG. So I was thinking, well, it's not about size against these guys. You can have mobility and run. I thought De Koning and
it's a great point, because Jeremy Finlayson was best on ground against them at the MCG a few weeks before that.
They've gone with Pitternet.
And they've gone with Pitternet. They've gone with the big body to be competitive, who's not going to give you much around the ground, where De Koning could threaten Collingwood and test
Is his ruck work? But I think it tells you how much they need to win clearances, and they're thinking they need taps, and that's overridden their decision. Where Collingwood don't need clearances, they beat you on the counterpunch. It's control versus chaos and a bit of contest, and I think Collingwood, with what's out, get it done.
So against Melbourne only last week, and they didn't win that game, we know, Carlton, but Doherty went into a lot of clearances, a lot of centre bounces. So too did Silvani. So do you think that'll happen again today?
Yeah, 100%. Setterfield went to Oliver. Silvani probably goes in. He's a role player for them. But and Collingwood, the virus last week. I was disappointed with Collingwood's form last week, but I thought their attitude and never give up. So their system should stand up here.
Cottrell last week went to Langdon. Does he have a job today?
On the wing, Josh Dacos. But Dacos was on the inside. Yeah. On the inside. It'd be interesting how they... And Carlton don't tend to tag, though, with Nick Dacos. With his brilliance off half-back, if they let him go, gee whiz.
This is a game where I'd love to see Jack Martin come to play. I know we've spoken about Chera, but this kid, he's not a kid anymore. He's been around for a long time, but he's shown bits of brilliance.
Last week, Brown, he kicked 4.
Stand up.
Last week, he kicked 4.
Just to make a case for Carlton, though, when these two teams played last time, round 11, there was no Caleb Marchbank, who we rate. There was no Mitch McGovern, who's been good. And Jacob Wiedering got injured early in that contest. Yeah. So I think Carlton are much more sure behind the footy than they were earlier in the season. There's no Plowman. There's no Nick Newman. That's a different look about this backline.
Well, because McGovern and Marchbank are back.
Yeah. And they all work together. Lewis Young's been developing, coming along well. Wiedering's there.
I suppose I'm just scarred by the little bloke from Melbourne marking them amongst 4 of them.
Yeah, that's
Melksham.
Right. Melksham last week.
Jesus. Yeah, but I think you're right. I just think if Carlton can give their forwards their supply, they got Martin, McKay, Curnow. So the small forwards of Carlton, young, they need to bring the heat like Sydney did. Sydney gave Carlton the model. Protect the corridor, fierce heat out of the back, your forwards, your small forwards, and don't let them flow, and that's how you beat them.
Gee, it's filling up, Ash.
The crowd, Brownie, I think they're forecasting about 84,000, so record home and away crowd between these two sides, 88,131. And
Trezor tells around the ground.
Yes, Brownie. Goal to the Bulldogs, so they currently lead the Hawks by 10 points early into the final quarter.
For what it's worth.
And it's 22 shots to 12 down there.
90,000, Brownie.
Ream Hot Water, built tough Ross Ignitions when it comes to water heating. Ask your plumber to install the room. Sorry, Doug.
I think they'll get to 90.
Okay.
How good is it
I'm saying 93,000. Robbo, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm going 90 plus because they're still coming in, Brownie. The toss. Cripper's had a win. Hasn't played in the final series yet, Cripper. Had a win. They're going Carlton. They're going to the city end. So exciting down here.
Final word, back. Who gets it done? Final word, Duck, Ross, who gets it done?
I'm sticking with Carlton. I think, like I said, if they can just get enough supply to those big key forwards, I think they can get it done.
I tipped Carlton in the week, but with Walsh out, I'm going the Pies.
I'm with Duck. I'm going to go for the Blues in a very tight one, obviously.
Robbo just triggered something in me. Paddy Cripps. I think this is Paddy Cripps' moment. He's waited his whole life for today. I think he's going to lead the Blues. They'll get the job done. They'll be playing finals.
They haven't had more than 90,000 to a game, these two, since when they played grand finals a long time ago. Catch a big fee this game day at the quarter-pounder range, only at McDonald's. So the Blues will kick to the right of your radio dial. Collingwood are going to kick to the punt road end. Players just ambling out into the positions. Everybody else is off the ground as the cameramen scurry off, and this is as big as it gets. Carlton up against Collingwood. We're down to the last 10 seconds. 95,000 at the MCG. If the Blues win, they play finals for the first time in a long time. Collingwood win, it's top four. Here's Joe Montagna on Triple M Footy.
Maynard pushing Cripps around in the middle.
Goosebumps here at the MCG. Will Setterfield looks like he might get to the goey for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. The one we've been waiting for. We're underway, and it's Scotty Pendlebury who's going to win the first centre clearance for the Pies. Sends the ball inside 50. Johnson and march back. Sard gets the first intercept. Handballs to Young. Stocker got the job on Jamie Elliott. Just took a little bit too long, but got a fist to the ball. Maynard, top of the 50. Clever little handball from Finn McRae into the side. Elliott, he snapped a goal, partially smothered. Lewis Young felt the heat, just threw it on the boot, only as far as Braden Maynard.
Great pickup, Duck. Maynard to Cripps, and I think it's what Joey said, that Cripps big game. Collingwood match committee thinking the same thing. Let's snuff him with Maynard.
Surely doesn't have the tank to run around the whole ground with him, though, Maynard.
Cripps doesn't have the biggest tank in the world.
No, but
confident here. He's turned his back at 55 as well, Maynard.
Scotty Selwood did tell us pre-game that they thought they were a bit young last week in the midfield, so they got the big balls in there. Can Maynard get them off to the perfect start from outside 50? Oh. He's given it a ride. He's given it a massive ride. Then we're going to get a score review.
That's why Pitnet's in the team. He's big.
It's behind.
Big. Get it on the line. I like it.
They might have saved the goal straight up, Duck.
Score review. Umpire's call is touched behind. Please check it was over the line.
So the umpire's call is touched. Gee whiz, that is so close to call.
Completely crossing the back of the goal line.
I don't think they're going to overrule that, are they?
No.
That's a goal. That's a goal.
I reckon
that is millimetres away.
Thumbs touched it.
Goal.
It's going to be touched.
Be touched.
All clear.
To behind.
Massive by Pitnet early.
He's good eye, Duck.
Robbo, Bob Jones, teammates.
Drama. Darcy Cameron into the rooms, injured. Fly McRae, he was screaming to his doctors to get him out there, so he's limped down into the rooms. He is in strike, Darcy Cameron.
Blues looking for Mackay. Fed out the back to Noble. Pumps him back inside forward 50. Elliott's there. Johnson's there. Ball at ground level. Young tapped it out. McGovern will pick it up under pressure. Got the handball out. It's out of bounds on the full. Good pressure from the Pies. McCreary forced it over. And it's going to be a free kick to Collingwood.
Gee, it's hot out there, isn't it? You get the ball, you're getting shut down and pressured.
Side bottom was nowhere near that footy. It was the closest one. McCreary, he ran away from it. Side bottom was outside the 50. Walked 30 metres inside forward 50 and takes the free kick.
He's done a Mundy. Mundy did that yesterday.
Oh, and that's who you want it. You want it in this man's hands.
We're right behind this one. Steele side bottom. What a player he's been. Defensive wingman this year. To open the scoring for Collingwood. Bends it back. Steele side bottom. That's big. And that's the first one for the Maggies. 117 in front of 95,000 people, Duck. Carlton yet to score. Beacon Trade scoreboard.
I just want to go back to the kick. You're right. So McQuarrie had the smarts to walk away from it. He was the one that put the pressure on, probably closest to the footy. But as soon as he got his hands on that was textbook. He hit that perfect, didn't he? He was straight at the right post, curled right at the last minute, and never looked like missing. He is a class player. Doesn't get as much of the footy these days, but when he does get it, he's always been a great user and a great finisher.
And what we've seen is modern footy, front half footy. Pies get it in. 2 rebound marks by the Pies set up behind the ball because of the Collingwood forward pressure and 2 shots on goal.
Triple M Seabus Super special comments today. Ross Lyon, Wayne Carey, Seabus Super making hard work pay off. Back in the middle, Pitnet and Cox, Crisp, Pendlebury and DeGoey, the 3 mids for the Pies. And DeGoey goes lateral to Dacos on a wing. That's Josh. Crisp runs hard on the spread. Kick missed him. McGovern came off his man. They win the footy back, the Blues. Here's O'Brien, the late inclusion for Walsh. Needs to have a big game on the wing. Tumbles the ball to half forward. Gets through the legs to Charlie Curnow. To his mate Mackay on the lead. Got some separation from Darcy Moore, but I know what Duck's going to say. He's on the wrong side for a left footer.
Correct.
He can't snap, but he's going to have to kick a drop punt.
Going to have to kick a drop punt, and unfortunately for him, he's not great at it, is he? So this is why when you're almost directly in front, he should be practicing drop punts in front of 90,000 people and not kicking it around the corner.
Duck's been on this all year. He's going to kick it from about 35 out. Wrong side for a left footer. Gone with the drop punt. He's hit it straight as a die. No, he's missed.
That's why.
One behind of the Blues. Collingwood 117.
You're just pushing that way. You'd play on his left side.
Choice hotels around the grounds.
Bulldogs by 9 points over the Hawks, almost halfway into the final term.
Robbo Bob JT Marts.
See Cameron doing a fitness test. He's got stop marks down his left thigh, but he's getting the right knee rubbed as well. So he's had to pass a fitness test to get out there, the number 14.
We got you covered on Triple M. Dord centre wing. Carlton with a 3-on-1, and Stocker didn't need his two mates. Took a mark on his chest, and he goes backwards to Wiedering, who's had the buzz cut this week. Looks tough.
Outside 5. Play on, Hugh.
Wiedering a short ball. It's a centre wing, and he finds Lewis Young. Every player ahead of him, bar Wiedering, he just kicked it to him. Looking for Pitnet in front of Cox. Couldn't mark it. Cherub tackle Pendlebury to the ground at 55 out from the Blues goal. The umpire will ball that up.
Ross, do you think a bit of a plan, the Blues, take a bit of tempo out of the game, try and play a bit of kick mark?
Yeah, particularly early. They're trying to settle. They just can't get control. But that's their game, Joey. They control the ball.
Collingwood run out of the stoppage. McCreary is there. Myercheck. Well done by the Blues. They win the footy back. Cripps to Sard. Sard on centre wing. Dumps it on the left foot. Inside forward 50. Darcy Moore picks it off. Mark on his chest. And he goes quickly.
And they've got numbers out here, the Pies, if they can get it moving. Myercheck's push forward. Pendlebury, they link up by hand. Howe, now Noble. Again, they're happy to go lateral to Josh Dacos in an acre of space. He's normally a beautiful user. He'll assess his options, pull the kick inboard, and finds Myercheck 48 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
And therein lies the challenge for the Blues, and was their weakness against Brisbane. They chase out of the front half. There was one chasing, but there's two other Carlton forwards walking. That's how Collingwood play. Counter punch through the corridor, run, and their first opportunity, they basically achieved it. So that's a red light. If you Collingwood are ticking it, Carlton, you're sitting there going, oh, gee whiz, didn't like that.
Brodie Myercheck, 22 goals, 15 from set shots this year. From outside 50, has to give it a good ride. He does, he's got the journey, but pulls it. 1-2-8 Collingwood, the Blues one behind. That's on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Choice hotels around the grounds.
Goal to Lockie Hunter. Bulldogs by 15 points over the Hawks halfway into the final term. Bulldogs currently inside the 8.
So the Blues bring it back in. It's not a very good kick. Goes straight back to Noble, who gives it off to Dacos. The Nick Dacos. He's going to pull it to the left. Through for one behind. Fast start by the Pies. 139, the Blues are one behind. It's an electric atmosphere at the MCG. Give me a crowd, Ash.
Reckon about 87,000, late 80s, Brownie.
Yeah, I think it's nudged 90, Ash. I think you're wrong today.
They're up and about, the Pies, aren't they? Like, they look quick, they look energetic, all over the Blues.
Sard does the kick in. Takes two bounces. Gets to about 40 out along the boundary line. Tries to kick it the advantage of Marchbank. Good work by De Goey. Almost won the ball back and then falls on top of it. We'll have the ball up. Just back of the wing for the Blues, out of sight MCG.
Can fumble at times to Goey.
Yeah, it was. He kept his head over the ball though, didn't he? It was a great contest by him.
Cox and Pitnet, Darcy Cameron still on the bench. Robbo's all over that one for us. Michael Voss coaching from the boundary line. So is Craig McRae. We'll have a secondary stoppage. They're still just forward of the wing for the Pies.
Holding the man, Carl.
Free kick off the ball, that stoppage. That was against Jordan De Goey. Will Setterfield putting a bit of work into him, flew him to the ground.
Interesting at the stoppage, Carlton got the extra up, and that leaves Jeremy Howe free. So they're going to have to work the ball and control the ball up.
Play on.
Payed in sunshine at half back, Setterfield. Kicks towards half forward. Curnow the target. Pitnet was there as well. The Blues get the handball out and a quick kick inside forward 50. It's a bouncing ball that got past Silvani. Mackay hit it up. Opportunity for the Blues. They can't pick up the ball cleanly though. The Pies do. Darcy Moore's going to be run down. Darcy Moore! They got him!
Oh, no.
The tackle slipped out at the last moment and paid for a trip. Unbelievable tackle by Silvani, but not rewarded, and the Pies breathe a sigh of relief.
There's an amazing chase down, but the right call by the umpire. He's got the leg. So Lipinski goes along to a contest. Josh Dacos has started this one well. Beautiful handball inboard to Pendlebury. De Goey running shotgun. Goes inside 50 to Myercheck. There's the Pies transition again through the middle of the MCG. And Myercheck will have his second shot for goal. This time 45 out straight in front.
Not sure that's the matchup they want, Wiedering on Myercheck. Already Myercheck has found a bit of space. Not on that occasion, don't get me wrong. Wiedering was right with him. But I just think Myercheck moves around that little bit
he
too
does,
much.
he's
Wiedering
mobile.
likes to park. He likes to park himself, doesn't he?
He tried to read, and the ball sort of tumbled punted, just dropped short a little bit. But to go his positioning in the corridor to get the outlet was outstanding.
He's already had one side of Myercheck. And he's missed two now. So they're just letting the Blues off a little bit here, Collingwood. They're 1-4 early in this one. The Blues one behind. Triple M Beacon Trade Scoreboard supporting tradies with over 120 stores. Expert trade teams, design services and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon making every tradie's job
We
easier.
talk about it all the time. When you have control of the game, you have to make the opposition pay, and Collingwood are not doing it at the moment.
Williams to do the kicking in. Darcy, more fine mark coming in from the side. And Paddy Cripps just runs off and allows him to take off. His head wasn't in the game then. Cripps back inside forward 50. Ball at ground level. Marchbank got it to Chera. Handball all the way back. Young chips the ball. Sard had to sit underneath it and take a strong mark. Let's have a look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. I thought Silvani was real stiff for that tackle.
Sard finds Chera just outside the defensive 50.
Well, Collingwood dominating. What are the inside 50s, Drew?
Yeah, 8-3, Magpies way.
Sard inboard to Zach Williams. And lateral to Mitch McGovern. So they haven't really gone anywhere. The Blues still inside the defensive 50, but now they might generate something. Although the kick was for Doherty. He didn't think it was for him, so he left it. And then Marchbank wrapped up by a couple of pies.
And that's been a concern, Ross, for Carlton over the past 3 rounds. They've been losing the inside 50 count by 17 per game.
Wow,
Be hard to hear calls out there. I reckon Doherty just got confused.
Chera wins that clearance, drives it deep to a one-on-one. Curnow and Murphy. The ball will get to the back. Curnow could have picked it up. Instead, he just had a rush of blood, kicked it out of mid-air.
Could have picked it up and ran all the way in.
Through from behind there, 2 behinds. Collingwood 1-4-10 early stages in this one.
I don't think he realised his opponent had fallen over, Duck.
Great call, Duck. You're right. He should have just grabbed the ball.
Good clearance by Chera. We put the heat on him today to stand up. They bring the ball back in looking for Ginnivan, and Wiedering comes from the side and whacks it out of bounds. Choice Hotels around the grounds.
Bulldogs by 15 points over the Hawks. Just under 7 to go before full time.
Good comeback by Ginnivan. He's off for most of the game last week, injured. It's a boundary throw in. Cox does the ruck work, brings it down, looking for Lipinski. Chera, been important early. Setterfield smothered off the boot by DeGoey. Sard picked it up. Just handballing no one. It was Doherty. Missed it. Side bottom opportunity. Doherty a bit rattled early.
Someone just poured concrete into Pitnet's boots.
I think he's had him there for 3 weeks. Interesting, Maynard started centre bounce on Cripps, now playing on the half-back flank.
He couldn't move then.
So a boundary throw in on centre wing. The Blues have the numbers at this stoppage, but they have the ruckman in Cox. Doherty. He'll get the handball. He dropped it again, Doherty. Not having a good patch. Ginnivan inches it forward with the left foot. Carlton with the numbers. They should get back with Setterfield. Picks it up. He's got Williams, and he's going to get a free kick, Setterfield. No, it's going to go to Lipinski.
That was a high fend-off.
Good call, Duck. So Lipinski, 60 out. Looking for somebody to give it to. Just chips it into the pocket. Defensive-minded kick, and the Blues mark that one comfortably through Marchbank.
And he had Nick Dacos on his left. Dacos saying, just give me the ball, son. Just give me the ball.
Darcy Cameron back on the ground, so that's good news for Pies fans. As Marchbank kicks it straight in that direction. Blues have got the extra number. Silvani in front, Curnow from behind. Neither could take the mark, and Nick Dacos mops up. Goes inboard to Finn McRae, not 15, so he goes back to Dacos. Goes now inside 50. Good fist from Lockie Young. Out of bounds, 45 metres around from the Pies goal.
Well, you talk about learnings. 3 Carlton players went up and spoiled each other. That's what they did against Melbourne. They need to fix their voice and calling each other in.
Inside 50s, 2 men.
10-4 Collingwood's way.
Collingwood making the least mistakes at the moment. The Blues, a little bit jumpy early. Boundary throw in on the 50 for the Pies. Lipinski's there. Williams, quick handball out over the top to Silvani. Silvani feeds back, and the Blues go towards centre wing. 50-50 ball. Quainer dropped what he should have taken. Good enough to get the handball out the side bottom. He wanted it out of bounds. And the umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt. Another boundary throw in. Choice Hotels around the grounds in Tassie.
Bulldogs by 15 points over the Hawks. Under 5 minutes to go before full time.
Pressure ratings, true. We're saying it's a hot game. What's it looking like?
Pressure rating, both teams track about 170, but Carlton raking up the clangers 8-4.
From the throw-in, Chera's been good. Started this one well. Can he use it nicely? He does. Good kick. Finds Jack Martin. Just forward of the wing. Members side MCG.
But they can't go quick because they're allowing Collingwood to have the +1 defender. This time it's Murphy because they want to win the stoppage and put the extra up there.
Ross is going to keep an eye on that tactical battle because the ball goes straight in that direction of the Pies extra. They've got the numbers at ground level. Fisher comes in though, and then he's wrapped up in a strong tackle. Holding the ball. It's going to go to Jeremy Howe, who's playing that loose man at the moment.
I hope they're consistent with that all day. That holding the ball decision.
Howe, short ball, finds Darcy Moritz and a half-back, marked on the stretch. So Carlton setting up their zone, protecting the middle of the ground, so Darcy Moore has to go lateral to Noble. Had a good year, Noble. He looked through the middle, couldn't go there too, so the Blues have done well, but now Dacos, some space opens up for Josh. Goes towards half forward, looking for Johnson. Marchbank did really well so far, been in some good form, and he steps it over the boundary line of a boundary throw-in. Marchbank was good.
Well, he's a good size, isn't he? He's a very talented player that just hasn't been able to get on the paddock with his body letting him down.
Good reach on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Gifts for the best dad ever, like me, at Harvey Norman. Great deals for Father's Day in-store online now at Harvey Norman.
Throw in, Silvani, Cameron. O'Brien's wrapped up in a tackle. Ross, what are your thoughts with the Blues having the extra at the stoppage?
Well,
it's working for them at stop, but then they're troubling. They're not finding Collingwood when Collingwood.
Well, that's the problem. Your team defence got to be sharp to locate the spare and also compete in your front half.
Collingwood.
And Silvani's given away a free kick to Darcy Cameron, that height advantage.
But what I don't like on the other end of the spectrum, Collingwood have got equal numbers in front of the ball. So, you know, you've got a +1 and you're equal in front. If you break even the stoppage, you win the game.
Cripps has been stuck on the bench for a while. He's only had the one disposal. How long, two-man?
Yeah, Triple M Red Z, Duck. Patrick Cripps in terms of his game time. He's going at... come back to you.
Yeah, it's like
Can't
Elliott,
10 minutes.
Elliott from 70 out, goes to the top of the square. Big pack of players at ground level. There's Owies all the way down. Oh, it's Durden, in fact, all the way down from the forward line, deep in defence. And the kick goes to Martin, who needs to play a good game, as Ross said. That was a terrific mark. Got it to Fisher, but he looks up. And Collingwood have got two behind the ball, so they have to retreat and go slow. And the Pies will take that as a win.
Brody Mychik's got an issue behind play too.
Olympic badly.
Just with Cripps, 10 minutes he's played out of 16 game time.
That's 6 minutes on the bench, Chew.
Yep.
O'Brien on centre wing, outer side. Wants to go to a one-on-one. Murphy and Curnow. Ground level, Fisher, Martin, wrapped up by Dacos. Chew, choice hotels around the grounds.
The Bulldogs out to a 21-point lead over the Hawks. 3 minutes to go before full-time. Bulldogs currently inside the 8.
Hey, Robbo, Brody Mychik's coming off, but he didn't want to come off, did he?
He didn't, but he's got a high knock. And they'll take him straight into the rooms. I reckon they're going to look at concussion here. He staggered, he went down to his knees, tried to stand back up again. They'll really look at that. Heavy hit.
He definitely looked a bit shaky, didn't want to come off. He looked in a world of his own, so we'll keep a close eye on that. Centrefield marks the kick in from Collingwood, and he's going to go from 45 for Carlton's first.
And that's the Carlton small forward pressure there. Force a dump kick up the corridor.
So the quick handball came, and Murphy under pressure on the left foot, straight back to Setterfield. Got the job on DeGoey so far today. Ash, what are the numbers between them early?
Yeah, Jordan DeGoey for Triple M Red Z, just the 2 disposals. Setterfield with 4.
Only played the 12 games this year, been in and out of the side. Setterfield, a big job today under DeGoey from 50 for the Blues first. Kick on the way. It looks good, but it's missed to the left. Very close. 3 behinds the Blues, 1-4-10 Collingwood, 7-point lead. That's on the Beacon Trade scoreboard. Choice hotels around the grounds.
Bulldogs by 22 over the Hawks, just over 2 to go.
So they're home, Chew.
Yep, and
Bulldogs
inside the 8.
That inside the 8 means the Blues have to win this afternoon. And they've got a game on their hands. The Pies have come to play. Josh Dacos wants to go wide. He saw Hoskin Elliott out in a bit of space. Ball couldn't get to him. Well done again by the Blues defence. Get it out of bounds. Of course, make sure at McDonald's you catch a big feed this game day with a quarter-pounder range. Only at Macca's. 7:12 on the game clock in this first term. Just the 1 goal scored to steal side bottom. Big crowd.
High contact, Carlton.
And another free kick in the ruck contest, but this time it's going to go the way of Silvani. So that's a win for the Blues with the height advantage to Darcy Cameron.
Outside 5. Play on. Me.
And he's happy just to go laterally and find Doherty.
Outside 5.
He had Stocker in the middle, didn't go there, so it goes back now to Sard. Sard chips it to Young. Young still at half-back. Sard wraps around the back. He's got Cox for pace, and he uses that pace but turns it over. Under pressure, side bottom in the middle of the ground. Marks the footy. Collingwood run everywhere. Side bottom taking an enormous amount of time to get rid of this, and then chips it sideways to Noble. They had the Blues on the hop there. Noble, short ball finds Pendlebury in the middle. Coming in late with Setterfield. Smack bang in the middle. Circle of the MCG. Pendlebury handballs it off to Noble. Noble gets past Mackay. Unloads to the top of the square. Carlton get back in numbers, and the mark taken by Young. Young's got Doherty on the wraparound around the back.
Doherty wants to get the ball moving, but he's going to kick it to a 3v1.
Well done.
Well done by Curnow. Did enough to bring it to ground. Ash Johnson taking in a strong tackle. Jack Martin's up and about.
And interesting, Stocker went down off the ball as Noble launched that inside 50. Would have been on a Collingwood small forward. He's gone down. He looks pretty sore. Just got himself up and going. Don't know if anyone saw what happened there.
I think he was blocked in that contest. He wasn't expecting it. A bit of blindside as the Blues, they win another clearance, but they're going to run into trouble because they tried to chain it by hand, and Ginnivan's taken high. And 50,000 cheer and the other 50,000 boo. And Ginnivan tries to get it to Degoe inside 50, takes the mark over the top of Sard. And he'll go back and have a shot 45 out on a very slight angle.
Thanks, boys. Clear out.
Choice Hotels around the grounds, book direct and save.
Bulldogs are home. Bulldogs have defeated the Hawks by 23 points. 12-15-87 to 10-4-64. Bulldogs currently inside the 8.
So Jordan Degoe, 45 metres out. They've missed a few in this first quarter, the Pies. They've missed another one. Could come back to bite them. That's 1 goal 5.
It's really costly. They should be 4 or 5 goals up, no question. They've dominated this game.
Well, their front half pressure's been outstanding. They can't just keep turning the ball over in their defensive mid. Collingwood's attacking mid zone.
So, Ash, can you tell me now how much Carlton can lose by and still make the finals?
Yeah, well, I'll just come back to you very shortly, Brownie.
It's a big occasion, Ash.
Yep.
O'Brien towards half-back, and he finds Chera. Chera chips the ball into the middle to Doherty. Gives the run. Sard dropped it, though, and then gave away a free kick. Mistakes building up for the Blues.
It was a good free kick, but Collingwood were out. He did the right thing, give it away, and they can get back in numbers.
So Jamie Elliott, the middle of the MCG, had a good year, Elliott. Injury-prone player, but had a good run at it this year. Goes wide. Williams have to sit underneath it. Can't mark it. Hoskin Elliott fed the handball off to Crisp. 40 out, Crisp on the run. The Pies get a badly needed one. They've been peppering away, and they finally get their second. 2-5-17. Carlton the 3 behind. 14-point lead to the Pies. Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Right now, Two-Man, you said it earlier in this quarter, it's just some basic fundamental errors from the Blues. They're at times just over-possessing it a little bit. And as you've said, Ross, when Collingwood's pressure is at a really high level, you just can't over-possess it. There's times, but then you look up and they've got nowhere to go, so they're giving that extra handball because Collingwood have got the
because they've got the number
loose.
back. I just think if you set up at a stoppage and the opposition's got +1 on your forwards, and then you look at your end, your defensive end, and it's equal numbers, it just doesn't make sense. I think if you give one, you've got to get one. So they're being forced to overuse the ball, and it's creating turnovers.
And teams average 13 kick clangers in the back half of the ground, Duck. The Blues have already racked up 6, and we haven't even hit quarter time.
They're a bit jittery in the back half at the moment, some of these Blues. Back in the middle, McDonald's and Marine hot water. Even Paddy Cripps has a little fumble. Collingwood getting after him. Hard ball to be won inside the centre square. Pendlebury, a good little bump, but the Blues will win this possession. Can they find a mark? A nice kick from Stocker. Got out to Lockie O'Brien. On centre wing, Mackay with a long lead. 90 out from home. He wants to look for Charlie Curnow. He's not there. It's Silvani instead. Goes in that direction. Stands his ground. Murphy for the Pies. Just throws it on the boot again. Lipinski in a one-on-one. McGovern's there. Good tackle. Going to have a ball up inside 50. Chu, just give us to answer Brownie's question.
Yeah.
The Bulldogs' percentage is now higher than Carlton's.
Exactly. So Blues have to win. Simple as that.
Blues have to win. Down to the boundary line, Robbo, Bob Jane Mark.
Yeah, my check still in the rooms. Privileged to listen to a doctor's conversation with McRae down here. They reckon it's compression on the neck. so they'll check for concussion. Got a heavy hit, but it's also compression on the neck. Still in the rooms, high check.
Couple of big tackles laid by Collingwood. They wanted a free kick. The umpire didn't pay it. Ball up. Boundary throw and inside forward 50 for the Blues.
Sorry about Brownie's trick question, too.
Boundary throw in, Mackay and Cox. Cox won it to the front of the pack. Opportunity for Martin. Can he pick it up? No, the ball's underneath the pack and we'll ball it up.
You dragged it back into him.
Centre field and Murphy.
Mason.
Get up. Murphy's the last one.
Patrick, Mason.
Umpire wants to get it up pretty quickly. Nominates.
Stop. Patrick's rucking.
Trying to figure out who is rucking. It's going to be Crisp and Cox. Cox won it clearly. Out to Joey's man. Hoskin Elliott on the run. Can't pick it up. We'll have a boundary throw in just outside 50.
And we spoke about Chera on the way in. He's had plenty of ball too. And how's Cripps travelling?
Yeah, Chera 10 touches, most on the ground. Cripps just the 2 handballs.
3 minutes left in this first term. Quarter dominated by Collingwood. They lead by 14 points. Pitnet, the throw-in favoured him, so he grabbed it out of the ruck handball to Setterfield, who kicks the ball high. Maynard stood under it, took a strong mark.
And on Cripps, that last stoppage, young McRae just put plenty of time in the Cripps. So they know that's where he does his best work, and then they'll look to work off him.
Maynard wants to be aggressive, drives it straight down the corridor. Look at McCreary. Well picked off by Lewis Young.
He's been strong.
He has been, hasn't he?
A couple of good marks, a couple of good spoils. Really growing and developing this year.
In a game where the ball hasn't been inside forward 50, I don't understand why Charlie Cameron's not on. Charlie Curnow.
Now the kick goes inside 50, and again Maynard, strong contested mark. And again he wants to be aggressive. Handballs to Pendlebury. Lipinski's running hard, forward to the wing, takes the mark. De Goey wants it inside. Josh Dacos wants it on the outside, but he sees McCreary, who's got into space 55 out. Ash Johnson's in the goal square all on his own. The kick's going to go in that direction. The Blues try and get numbers back. Williams got a hand in. Get him at ground level. Around the body. Pies have got 3. And they're all over the Blues in this first quarter. They're 3-5-23. The Blues, they're just on the 3 behinds. 2 minutes left, opening term.
Hindsight's a wonderful... Sorry, Joey. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. Is it coming? Who's going to win? Collingwood won 12 in a row. They lost to a red-hot Sydney. Blues have lost their last 3, and everyone's thinking, oh, the Blues might be able to get this done. But what we're seeing is a team full of confidence and system from the Pies.
And I know just the real basics of the game, and I harp on it about it, Joey, because it's just an integral part. You can't have intercept marks. Maynard's taken 2 big ones inside. You're not getting the ball in there often enough not to bring that ball
to ground. It has to come to ground.
That's all.
Well, how many uncontested marks they had, Carlton? Because that's a big part of their game. It doesn't feel like they've had a heat.
Yeah, they're plus 320 to 17.
Triple M Seabus Super Super comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. Ross and Duck in the back row. Collingwood with the first 3. Bounce in the middle. 2 minutes to go before quarter time. And a free kick's going to go to Carlton.
Mason, watch your knees.
And they've won the clearances 9-5, but they pay a big price to win them.
Mason Cox told to watch his knees in the ruck contest. He'll give the handball to Doherty. Doherty streams out of the middle to Chera. Chera from 55 to load up. Low ball, dropped. Mackay, handball, missed the target again. Pendlebury under pressure. Just gets the ball out wherever he can. Mason Cox got the handball and then released the area. Bouncing ball, big footy in the middle of the MCG. 50-50 ball coming through. Carlton pick it up, chipping ball out wide. And Cottrell marks it on centre wing.
I think Carlton's pump-up song before the game must have been the Wiggles hot potato, hot potato.
Haven't handled the pressure, have they?
Oh, no, they've been terrible.
Just throwing it away.
That's what we said. They had to absorb the pressure and they haven't at all. Collingwood all over them at the moment. Kick towards half forward. And we're going to ball up 55 out from the Blues goal.
And I think that's what their coach will be most disappointed about. It's the basic, it's the fumbles.
Thank you. Thanks.
Sam Doherty's been one of the culprits 2 or 3 times, a bit jittery, and it's filtered through to this Blues team. Durden trying to get the handball to Cripps. De Goey not giving him an inch. Hoskin Elliott wanted it more than Owies. Finn McRae in this one, just inside the boundary line, played for a free kick. Umpire heard him say no.
And Chew, we know Collingwood's game's turnover game and Carlton's stoppage. What's the turnover score source saying?
Yeah, Magpies 22 out of their 23 points have come from Carlton turnovers.
And the Blues scoring off turnover?
Just the 2 behinds.
Cripps trying to generate something late in this first quarter. Quaynor, well done Doherty. That time, that's a good tackle.
It's got to be 50, hasn't it?
Could have been 50. The ball was kicked away after the whistle, but the umpire's given the benefit of the doubt.
They pay him sometimes and not others.
Great run-down tackle from Doherty, and then clearly that should have been 50.
It was sort of simultaneous. It was pretty quick, wasn't it?
Jack? No, yes, you can move.
So Doherty, 55 out, a lot of numbers inside 50. And he's going to go into the pocket looking for Charlie Curnow. He's just outworked and outmanoeuvred by Jeremy Howe.
Well, that's the Ducks' point. Another intercept mark, really beaten one-on-one, the big key forwards.
Collingwood have got 28 or 20 seconds now to get to quarter time. 20 points up, 23 plays 3. Carlton with an opportunity through Cripps. Got the handball out. They go forward, smothered off the boot. Collingwood's defence has been sound so far.
Tackle slipped.
Crisp. Tackle was slipped, said the umpire. Ball in the middle of the ground to go. He picks it up. Chera tackles him for the first quarter in front of 90,000 people owned by Collingwood. They kick the first 3. They kick the only 3, and they lead by 20 points. 3-5-23. Carlton are 3 behind. McDonald's Ream Hot Water. Triple M. Rocks Footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon, making every tradie's job easier.
For McDonald's,
Triple M Rocks Footy.
catch a big feed this game day with the Quarter Pounder range, only at Macca's.
Hi, it's Marty Sheargold. Right now, Triple M Rocks Footy, and we're back on tomorrow, and at 8:30 we'll wrap up the round with Scott Pendlebury. I was reading about the North Melbourne jumper, and then I jumped online to try and buy one, and they've got none in my size. They've already sold out in large and extra large.
You're not extra large or large.
What are you thinking?
Extra large.
The Marty Sheargold Show. Back tomorrow at 6 on Melbourne's 105.1 Triple M.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we're the home of big brands. When you buy 3, you get the 4th tyre absolutely free. Plus, up to $150 instant cashback on the tyre brands you know and trust. Bridgestone, Yokohama, BF Goodrich, Goodyear, Dunlop and the legendary All-Rounder. Pick up alloy wheels from under $125, tyres from just $69 and get our best tyre price guarantee on all our big brands. We'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
Campbell Brown here with Andrew Shea, CEO of Builders Academy. What would you say to someone looking to get into the building industry, mate?
Thanks, Brownie. There's never been a better time to enter the building and construction industry. Whether it's starting a Certificate 2 or moving into an apprenticeship in carpentry, we can help those entering the industry or pathwaying towards a Certificate 4 or diploma to become a registered building legend.
Thanks, Andrew. Get in touch with Builders Academy on 1300 Legend.
RTO 21583.
This is Professor Michael Kidd, Deputy Chief Medical Officer, with some important ways to protect yourself, others and our healthcare system from the current surge in new COVID-19 cases. When leaving home, please wear a mask when indoors or in crowded places. Cover your cough and wash your hands. Remember physical distancing. Test if you have symptoms and stay home if you have COVID-19. Together we can help slow the spread. Find out more at australia.gov.au.
Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Australia, there's only a few weeks left to collect Coles Magical Builders. Collect 1 character with every $30 you spend. Complete your Coles Magical Builders collection today, only at Coles. While stocks last, limits, exclusions and T's and C's apply. Offer ends August 30.
Listen up, everybody. Kogan Mobile's award-winning prepaid prices just got even better. You can get started with Kogan Mobile for just $2.90 for 30 days. That comes with unlimited calls, unlimited texts, plus a big 20 gig of data. There's no hidden costs, just amazing value with no bill shock. Thousands of Aussies have been making the switch to Kogan Mobile thanks to the quick and easy activation. So make the call. Switch to Kogan Mobile from just $2.90 for the first 30 days at koganmobile.com.au.
The new Google Pixel 6a is all you want in a phone at just $749. Its extreme battery saver gives you the power you want when you need it. That means your battery can last up to 72 hours. So you might need a recharge before it does. Google Pixel 6a. Smart, powerful and secure. For $749 at the Google Store. Also available at Telstra, JB Hi-Fi and Officeworks. Actual battery life may vary. Battery life depends upon many factors and features.
The Haval H6 is a smart SUV, mainly because of its smart tech, safety and design, but also because of the driver, someone clever enough to demand more and get it. Haval H6. Smart move.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M Rocks Footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
Collingwood kicking only 3 goals for the first quarter. Side bottom, Crisp and Ginnivan to lead by 20 points over the Blues, 3-5-23. Carlton only the 3 behind for McDonald's Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Let's get down to Robbo on the boundary. There's a fair bit going on in that first quarter, Robbo, for Bob Jane team.
And it was all about Collingwood too, Brownie. And Darcy Cameron's the one they've had to work on his right knee. Stop marks down the left side, but had to work on the right side. So heavy contact in that centre bounce. So strapping there for the big fella. Should be able to run it out. But Myercheck, the 15-minute concussion test, he was almost to the second when he was let out to the huddle. So they were warming Ollie Henry up. I reckon they'll keep Myercheck on. He did stagger. There was compression on his neck as well. They looked at concussion, but I reckon he's okay.
And Ash, I'm seeing a lot of people around the MCG checking their phones, particularly Carlton supporters, and they've noticed that Choice Hotels around the grounds, the Doggies have won.
They'd be very unsettled at the moment, correct. Bulldogs defeated the Hawks by 23 points. Bulldogs currently inside the 8 on the live ladder.
Triple M Red Z lending stats.
And the scores from turnovers. Magpies are posted 3-4-22, Blues 2 behinds. Carlton 13 chains from their D50, but they haven't put it inside once, whereas the Magpies are going at 24%.
Seabus Super making hard work pay off. You got Ross, you got Duck.
Just haven't liked the intercept marks that Collingwood have been able to take. So in the end, Carlton actually evened up the inside 50. So I think it's 15-13. So only a couple the difference. But whenever Carlton did go in, especially late in that term, Ross, it was Collingwood that took the intercept marks.
Thought, Moore and Howe were dominant.
Maynard as well.
Murphy played his piece. But it's Collingwood's ability to transition the ball and then stop Carlton moving out of their back half. They've turned it over 10 times on Carlton, trying to move it out of their back half. And they've kicked 2 goals, 3 out of that area. Carlton have only done it 5 times for 1 point. So that's the game.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Blues must win to play finals. Pies win, they'll finish in the top 4. We're underway. De Goey. Free kick, they're going to go back to Paddy Cripps. Held without the footy.
That's right. I said stand.
He's going to pay 50 then for Maynard moving on the mark, then decided not to. And the kick goes long and high, and there's another intercept mark.
Well, that was 50.
That should
early
be 50.
in the year. That should have been 50.
I didn't think there was any wriggle room in that.
Should have come to ground as well, Ross.
Yeah, Darcy Cameron stood his ground, took an intercept mark. And now the Pies, as Ross Lyon told us, want to transition from one end to the other. Mitch McGovern, strong intercept mark.
Thought that was Jeremy.
Play on, play on, play on.
Again, the Pies moved off the mark, and the umpire's giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Play on.
And the kick goes wide to Wiedering.
Stepped off your line. You did.
Jack Martin takes a mark.
He's playing well, Jack. He's been one that's marking the footy quite well.
Well, he's looked more assured than a few of the others.
This is the kick, though. Can they find a mark inside 50? Beautiful kick from Jack Martin. Pulled the ball at the last minute, kicked it short. Oh, he's on a lead. Takes the mark 35 metres outside angle.
Class.
Well, his ability to scan, just lower his eyes and then execute.
1 metre.
A lot of them have seen the opportunity, but they haven't been able to execute, whether a fumble, drop mark.
It was well played because they were expecting just that long bomb to go in again.
It was Nick Dacos that had dropped off, just thinking the kick was going to go long. He's about a 50-50 set shot for goal. He's Matty Owies. But he gets the first. And there's a little bit going on between Pendlebury and Owies. Bit of feeling, they come from everywhere now. A lot of numbers around this and a lot of just pushing and shoving. The Blues 1-3-9, Collingwood 3-5-23. Triple M IJ, I think a scoreboard early stages, second term.
Well, I love watching people come. You know, you've got that little push and shove. You see people come from everywhere. Big Mason Cox was jogging down, then just did a slow U-turn and went back to the centre.
If you're smart, don't get involved, preserve your energy. Yep. Side bottom, the old bull just sat out in the wing watching.
And your bank account. So the Blues get their first 14-point lead to the Maggies.
Where does that money go, by the way? Does that just go straight to the AFL? It should go to a charity.
So for McDonald's Ream Hot Water, build tough Rossi conditions when it comes to watering. Ask your plumber to install a room. Can the Blues go on from here? Kick the first. Dacos tackled in the middle. Josh Dacos tackled by Chera. We'll ball it up again. Pyro elevates it quickly. Cameron and Pitnet got it to Cripps. Cripps standing start inside forward 50. Maynard outmarks Silvani.
Stand.
How many intercept marks, two-man for Collingwood?
That's 10 for the game, and Maynard's taken 4.
He's a strong human being. Quainer. The lead comes from side bottom. Marks on centre wing.
Outside 5.
And out of all of those 10, Ross, they could have all come to ground.
Yeah, there've been a lot of one-on-ones, and Silvani's no slouch in the contest, so he's a strong man.
Poor checking by the Blues, and Elliott happen to mark the ball 55 out from home. Ask someone to come to him. Now he just settles back over the mark. He'll set this one up. Keeps it low, keeps it flat, keeps it hard. Good kick. Cameron can't mark it. Front of the pack. Quick kick out of the pack comes from McCreary. It goes out of bounds on the full, or it might have been
McRae
in the end.
Lovely crumb though, wasn't it, Brownie?
It was beautiful crumb.
Down onto his foot really quickly.
Free kick to the Blues, out of bounds on the full.
It'll be Doherty. He's going to go along down the line. Cripps is in this contest, so is Charlie Curnow in front. Howard did well to bring it to ground. Darcy Cameron couldn't get the handball away. He's squeezed a little kick, but it's partially smothered. And he goes back and gets it because Pendlebury just coughed it up. Maynard's going to take his 5th intercept mark already. He's dominating this one, and straight away goes inboard to Crisp because the Pies have got numbers through the corridor. Darcy Moore has De Goey running shotgun. Handball gets to him. Now he wants to go inside 50. That's great transition from Collingwood. And the free kick's going to be paid to Jamie Elliott. And they turn defence into attack so quickly.
And the reason why, Murphy was the spare again. So when Collingwood were held up outside 50, everyone rolled up. And Murphy just says, no problems. He sits 50 metres behind the ball. When they go forward, not only can he defend, he starts their chain out.
Jamie Elliott, basically the same spot. He kicked the winner against the Bombers. Other end of the ground, but you know where we're talking, Ross. 45 metres out.
Just Joey. I thought it was a stretch, Joey.
Yeah, the other one was fair.
We're with you.
More on the boundary and further out.
Right, that's nowhere near where he kicked the match winner. There should be regulation for him. No, misses. 3-6-24. Jeez, you blokes.
You know what? We're leading here, Joey.
15-point margin, early stages, second term.
To go his pass, he's pop off the boot to get it through the air. So Elliott.
So the Blues bring it back in, looking for Mackay. It got over the back, and the ball rolls to the boundary line and out of bounds.
Well, right at the moment, Collingwood are actually keeping Carlton in it. They've kicked 1 goal 5 from set shots.
And McRae looks like he's going to Cripps permanently around the stoppage. So that was smart, wasn't it? Maynard for the first 5 minutes, hot, big bull, then to get the young fella onto him.
15-point lead to the Pies. That man Cripps couldn't pick it up. Darcy Cameron handball back out to Pendlebury. Pendlebury's been tackled. Good enough to get it to McRae. McRae flicks it over the top. Ginnivan under pressure. Caught. And he's escorted across the boundary line. The tackle didn't stick and left a boundary.
Well, he got lucky there, Paddy Cripps. So McRae putting a lot of work into the stoppage, but then Cripps didn't leave the stoppage. McRae left and got on the end of it. So you can see what the plan is there.
It's a good plan. Blues are holding their 6 forwards this quarter, Ross, so they've adjusted. They need to win some clearance with the even numbers. Pitnet, Cameron, taken without the footy. Could have been a free kick, no. And it'll be the Blues. Chera to Doherty, who's going to kick around the body. A high ball on the wing. Both big boys are in there, but Howe gets the fist in, gets it out of bounds, right in front of the interchange gates below us. Members side MCG, 90,000 here, and it's the Pies leading by 15
Really good
points.
point by Joey. Carlton now holding. So they won the clearances first quarter. I think they almost doubled, but they got hurt. So it'll be interesting to see win less clearances, but be more in the game.
Pendlebury been on his own these last 2 clearances. Surely he gets one in a minute. Too good of a player to leave on that side, and Pendlebury on cue picks it up, gives a handball to De Goey, another one to Crisp. They cost themselves here, the Blues, inside forward 50, but they're able to get back in numbers. Marchbank flicks it wide. O'Brien at half-back. Shane Wall inside stand. Can't go anywhere. He's held up. They have to kick back over the mark, Duck.
He wasn't held up at all. He could still take 10 metres if he wants it.
Wasn't confident to go. Now they go wide. Silvani couldn't mark the ball. Hits the deck. 50-50 ball. Dacos went in hard. The ball's underneath the pack. Dragged it in. The umpire's going to ping him. Against Carlton. Free kick we go to Collingwood.
Yes.
That's against Silvani.
Come back on. Play on.
So it'll be Josh Dacos. Inboard to Darcy Moore. They want a transition. Maynard's working hard. This is going to be a big ball to win. Maynard clever. Didn't take possession, I should say. Side bottom was out. Sweeps a handball. Another big 50-50 ball. Lipinski and Durden. Maynard came in support and then drives it into the pocket. Mason Cox has got 2 to beat, and he couldn't because Wiedering won out. It was Wiedering and Marchbank v Cox. And Wiedering takes a steadying mark deep in defence for the Blues. And it kicks it towards a big pack of players. Maynard again. Handball went looking for Lipinski. Cripps held on to Lipinski before he took possession.
Well, Cameron should have got chopped in the arms for him then, wasn't he? He had that mark, they just pulled his arms down.
Maynard's best on the ground by miles.
Yeah, and champion data have him as the number 1 ranked player, obviously.
Lipinski kicks to the top of the square.
Realistic attempt.
And there's been a free kick paid.
Unrealistic attempt.
And that should be 50. For Roy this time. It's going the other way to the Blues.
Joey. It was against Hoskin Elliott.
Thank you.
Go in the middle of the ground, Fleury, yeah.
I reckon Pendlebury's been in the
Robbo boundary
for best also.
Yeah, doctors have just had a discussion down here. Myercheck cleared to play. So down on the boundary line, they don't have to pull the pin yet. Myercheck okay.
Stocker inside forward 50. Ball live at the ground. Rolls out of bounds in the end in front of Curnow. Duck.
In saying that though, Robbo, I reckon they're bringing him on now. I was going to say if he was actually okay, surely he'd be on, but he's coming on now. Well done, Robbo.
Carlton, Jack.
Robbo doesn't get it wrong. Bob Jane Team Arts, he's the best in the business. Buy 3, get 1 free, instant cash back. 13.26.25, order online today. Silvani did some good ruck work, but he couldn't quite pick the footy up, and now Collingwood on the run. Crisp. 1 bounce at half back. He's got a runner in shotgun side. He gets it out towards McRae, but McRae kicks it straight back to Williams. Williams marks it at half back, and Ginnivan stands the mark.
I know Carlton get that ball, but that's Collingwood. Another entry out of their D50. They're just slicing him on the counter punch.
McGovern from the Toyota logo. They need something here, the Blues. Cripps will fly. Howe went the other way. Silvani's been lively. Jack Martin's almost been their best. Dribbles a ball. That might have flicked the post. We're going to have another score review. Duck, you've got the best eye. What do you reckon?
I reckon it snipped it.
Duck thinks it snicked the goalpost. We're going to have a listen.
I believe it's a behind and confirm the ball hit the post.
Score review. Umpire's call is 1 behind.
It was Jack Martin with the dribble kick along the ground. We're going to go straight to the snickometer, and I reckon we'll see
review underway.
Some deviation.
Review complete. Looking at the
so it'll be behind. Carlton will go to 1-4-10. Collingwood 3-6-24. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop. True for Red Z Lending. Just give us a bit of a summary of what's happening here.
Yeah, Triple M Red Z, as Ross said, Blues are dominating the clearances. 13-8, but they've only scored 1 behind from those clearances. But in the territory battle, as Doug touched on, you're only down by 3 entries, the Blues.
Nick Dacos to do the kicking and goes straight up the middle of the MCG, and Darcy Moore doesn't let him down. Big contested mark, reels around and goes quick to half forward looking for Johnson. Wiedering with him, fisted to the ground. Cottrell will be the first one there. He's got some good wheels, so too is McCreary. And the ball's out of bounds at half forward for the Magpies.
They've really controlled the air, the Pies, haven't they?
Dominated them, no doubt, Duck. Yeah, Howe, Moore, Myercheck when he was on. I think Cameron's looking dangerous. Pitney does look like he's got concrete in his boots, Duck.
14-point lead to the Magpies. Boundary throw in. Here's the concrete boot up. Tapped it down, side bottom. The balance around the stoppage is pretty good for the Pies at the moment. Cripps takes it over the boundary line with a boundary throw in. How's the noise down there, Robbo? Bob Jane Team Arts.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. And Myercheck, I don't know how he's on. He had the staggers, mate. They've cleared him, but, gee, he was pretty shaky at centre-half back a while ago, so he's back on the 41.
Bob Jane Team Arts, buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cash back. Top tyre brands, 13.26.25. Order online today, bobjane.com.au.
Cripps is going to get the free kick at this stoppage. Finn McRae all over him, but just fell into his back.
It's really interesting, the stoppage, Joey. Carlton holding their forwards, but Collingwood got a defensive winger and side bottom just sitting there on his own. They need to go wing on wing to make it equals numbers, because Collingwood are rounding up the Carlton winger and covering him off. So Collingwood have got the advantage.
Yeah, it looks threatening, that winger sitting off the back, as Nathan Brown told us a bit earlier. And the kick goes towards Silvani. Another one-on-one intercept mark for the Pies. Duck just told us, dominating the air, Collingwood. Intercept mark number 11, is it, Chu?
Number 12, the average is 16 per game.
So Pitneck gets the big fist in. Big ball to be won on the wing. McGovern, he's been okay, although he didn't take that one cleanly. McCreary, Motlop, DeGoey, Doherty, they're all in there trying to win a hard ball. In the end, they all fall on top of each other.
Well, they all fumbled it, didn't it? 3 AFL players fumbled in a row. McGovern, McCleary.
It's been a hot footy, Ross.
Yeah, but the class like Pendlebury, and they just stand up and take the ball.
Ball up. Dacos had a fumble as well. Was good enough to go back and get it, but then lost it. Silvani Cripps smothered off the boot by Nick Dacos. Setterfield to Doherty. Doherty smothered as well. Sard went through. Couldn't break through the tackle. The umpire balls it up on the logo.
If I'm Carlton, though, I'm looking, especially at half-time, fair way to go, but I'm going in, I'm saying, could not play any worse.
Correct.
We're only 14 points down.
Yep. One-on-ones ahead of the footy for Collingwood in their forward half of the ground. So even numbers around this stoppage hasn't been that way. Too high. Doherty get a free kick advantage paid. Cottrell, they need to make something of this, the Blues. Looking for Curnow and Mackay. Curnow at the back. Big Charlie leading the Coleman.
That's better.
And that's a big mark.
And that's the difference, isn't it? I just think as the pressure goes up, more dump kick comes. The big men come to their own in the air.
He's going to snap from 35, almost 40 out. Has to hit it perfect from here. Curnow to the punt road end, and he didn't hit it at all well.
The umpire was saying 1 more metre to Collingwood players. They did not move.
Kicks it straight back to the Pies.
And Darcy Moore wants to get it rolling. Going to go out towards the wing. Lewis Young, Mycheck. Young gets that ball out of bounds. Your point's right, though, Duck, because as we know, when two good teams play each other, you're not going to dominate the game for a full 4 quarters. At some point, the other team's going to have some momentum, and if Carlton can just stay within reach, they will have a period of the game where they do get some control.
Well, they've got to fix their basics. They've got to fix their ball handling and decision-making to get into this game, because they're winning enough of it around the clearance and contested ball.
They win another clearance. Oh, he throws it on the boot. They're the big boys, Rossi. It was Curnow the first time, and now it's Mackay. And guess what, Duck?
He's on the right side.
He's on the right side for the left footer. But he might go with the drop punt.
No, he's going around the corner.
Can you clear out,
Let's see what he does. He's about... The man on the mark's about 35 metres out. So
normally he would go around the corner from here, Joey.
This is almost on his limit for a snap.
I wonder...
That's why. I reckon he's too far out.
No, I've seen him go further out.
He's going to go the drop punt from 45. And he steers it home. And the Blues get their second, and they just start to get a little bit of momentum. They're 2-4-16, the Pies 3-6-24, halfway through this third term. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard, IJ Liquor, good food deserves a great drop.
I reckon if you looked at that position with Harry Mackay this year, I reckon 80 to 90% he's gone around the corner there. I would just wonder, because of the magnitude of the kick, Joey, that it was like, no, I'll go back and kick a drop punt. I don't know.
I'm with Brownie. I think he was just on his limit whether to snap.
No, I've seen him snap from out. Okay, Joey, get your little stats out. Like
I love it when you flare up, Duck. The eyes went roll.
We're right, Duck. You're wrong.
But that's Carlton footy. Quick kick out of the stoppage, isolated forward. Bang, McKay in front.
Percentage of Carlton supporters to Collingwood supporters, Triple M Red Z Lending.
I'll go for 57% Carlton, 43 Collingwood.
I reckon it's more like 65.
Okay.
McDonald's, Red Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. The Blues have kicked the last two. Silvani works his way out. Then he tries some party tricks. The ball got stuck around the back. He couldn't quite get it out. Collingwood at half-back. Handball. Noble ridden into the ground. Carlton lifting. Handball back. Setterfield kicks it inside forward 50. Martin from the side. And go! Big leap, big mark by Charlie.
The equal numbers.
And they've erupted at the G.
They've had the last five inside 50s, and guess what they're doing when they get it in there? Marking it.
Well, it's funny, equal numbers, isn't it? Like Jeremy Howe had to defend Curnow one-on-one. No help from Murphy, no help from Moore. He didn't go. Didn't even defend him. Bang.
Kicked the rhubarb around the corner before.
Collingwood wasted opportunity after opportunity to put it within 2 points. Charlie Curnow after a big mark. Can he bring it back? Right to left, he can't. 3 for 1 behind.
Kicks him hard and low, doesn't he?
3-6-24 Collingwood, 2-5-17 the Blues. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Just looks a bit tentative, I reckon, with a couple of his shots. Not quite as short as he has been.
Good mark on the Harvey Norman replay. Gifts for Dad. The best dad ever at Harvey Norman. Great Father's deals in store online.
Normally he walks in and just really whacks through the ball, doesn't he?
He's just feeling the occasion because it's game on. The Blues are just lifted the last 5 minutes. Cripps tries to nail Dacos. Turns the ball over. Setterfield a high ball. Here's Mackay. Good fist from Howe. Although the Blues have numbers front and square. Cripps Setterfield. He'll do the exact same thing. Now it's Charlie Curnow's turn again. And this time it's Murphy or Moore with the spoil. And Collingwood with a bit of composure through Pendlebury and Sidebottom. Relieve the pressure and find McCreary on the outlet.
Oh, he's a beauty Pendlebury, isn't he? Just found the spare. So easily then.
And everyone else running around like a headless chook. Pendle's just cool and calm. And now the Pies will try and get a bit of field position. McCreary to the point of the square. Big pack of players and a big fist from Mitch McGovern. The ball will trickle out of bounds 60 metres around from the Pies goal in front of the big MCC members. Full house here. MCG, 8 minutes left on the clock. Pies lead by 7 points.
Well, they just need Cripps to get into the game more here, get to work. The rest of them are lifted. He's the missing piece at the minute.
Choice hotels around the grounds.
Earlier today, the Hawks were defeated by the Bulldogs by 23 points. Bulldogs currently inside the 8.
Ladder position right now, percentage-wise.
Yeah. Bulldogs live ladder, percentage 108.9. Carlton 108.2, 0.7%.
Curnow at half forward, around the body. Mackay, got a couple of players at ground level. One of those is Owies. Owies misses. Out of bounds on the full, rushed it. Carlton just still panicking with the footy.
Well done, Mackay, then. Just, a bit of aggressiveness in the air.
Bring it to ground. It's incredible how vulnerable the Collingwood defence looks with equal numbers.
Got the overlap here, the Pies, if they can get it moving, but Carlton do pretty well. Josh Dacos on the left boot. Pretty good kick, but it just fell short for Myercheck. Carlton have lifted the intensity here. Zach Williams throws it on the boot. Ball's going to bounce. Can it favour Mackay? Can he keep it in? Just inside the boundary line. Feeds it back to McGovern. Under pressure tackle from Quaynor. 50 metres out. We'll have it balled up and just stayed in play. 7-point lead to the Pies. 19 and a half minutes gone in this second term. Carlton having a good little patch here. Cox able to clear it, win his own clearance, but a free kick's going to go the way of Wiedering against Myercheck. Blues will reload and go again. Cripps 7 clearances already, two-man.
Yeah, and the Blues' last 9 entries inside 50.
What are the clearances, two-man?
Absolute smashing, 18 to 10, Carlton's way.
Wiedering, a finger breaker ball inside forward 50. The Blues through Cripps, got it back to Owies. Back outside 50 now, O'Brien. Went further back to centre wing and Cherrell pumping back in with the left foot. Curnow was there. Drop mark. Curnow opportunity. Fended off one. Went back and umpire said you fended off too high.
But he's looking super dangerous, isn't he?
Quaynor with the free kick.
See what he's not doing? He's not hitting the ball cleanly, is he? Even that snap there went low.
Yours kick.
Dacos missed Hoskin Elliott, so he has to go and try and pick it up and just throws it on the boot. Gets some territory. Myercheck tried to slip Zach Williams and he did well. Got it back to Hoskin Elliott. Ginnivan presents up with a kicker. Takes the mark 40 metres out, just inside the boundary line. But he's a pretty sharp shooter, this kid.
Oh, it's good forward craft by Ginnivan. Running back and just a little duck up. Carlton defender did well just to keep him wide.
15 gone. 15 gone!
Jack Ginnivan, 28 goals, 9 from set shots. This will be one of his toughest. 45 metres out, just inside the boundary line. Almost an identical spot where Jamie Elliott had a shot about 10 minutes ago. Oh, it's a beautiful set shot from Jack Ginnivan. He loves it and he gives it to the Blues crowd. He's got 2. He's loving this occasion. And the Pies get the steady up. They go to 4-6-30. Carlton 2-5-17. 5.5 minutes to play. Triple M I think a scoreboard.
He's a beauty, isn't he? He's been through a lot this year and he just keeps coming, keeps stepping up. Took on the responsibility and a class finish.
Just Triple M Reds there, back on those clearances, even though the Blues are dominating 18 to 10, but they've only kicked 1-1, whereas the Magpies just one behind, so 6-point differential from that score source.
Ginnivan goes down to full forward to the adulation of the Magpies crowd, and he's loving it down there. Triple M Harvey Norman replay. You see, he gives it to the man in the crowd, and the Pies get the steadier.
What are the clearances this quarter, Chu? Because of the equal numbers, just seeing they've been able to really hold up.
Carlton a +2, 7-5.
Yep.
For McDonald's Red Hot Water back in the middle. Triple M rocks footy. Pit net, left it for Cripps. Cripps going to be run down. Strength by Cripps, but then his kick was affected, smothered off the boot. To Gowie, handballs out to Dacos. Josh chips the ball to Lipinski. Lipinski at centre half forward. Ginnivan offers up a lead. Goes towards Ginnivan now. Chipping in was Hoskin Elliott. Hoskin Elliott with a goey. 2 in a row for the Pies. No, goes wide, and Johnson marks it in the pocket. Umpire called play on, and the Blues get back with numbers. O'Brien, hack kick out of defence, only as far as Noble. Noble got side bottom on, but doesn't find him. Side bottom's still there if Noble wants him.
And he's still there if he wants him.
Oh, that's incredible.
Johnson in the pocket.
He'd be flat side bottom.
He wouldn't want to kick this out of bounds on the full. It's going to go very close. Just stayed in, and Johnson,
Duck,
with those go-go gadget arms, sticks them straight up. Good call, Duck, takes the mark.
I wonder how he was there that long.
25 metres out, just on the boundary line. He's probably going to go with the check side, I reckon.
He has got good hands, this kid, hasn't he? You can just tell he's clean.
I'll tell you, to go his spread from the centre square bounce, hard forward 50 metres. He's electric to get that shot on goal.
He's going to go with a banana.
Oh, no way.
And he looks at the Collingwood supporters as well, give it a bit louder. These young kids are not overawed here at the MCG. They're thriving in the occasion. Ginnivan and now Johnson, and they get out to a 19-point lead, 5-6 to 2-5. 25 minutes gone for second term.
Well, Duck, it's about being relaxed, isn't it? Belief in your ability. He looked like he was on a Sunday afternoon stroll. Yeah, there's no tightness there, unlike at the other end, what we're seeing.
Correct. 9 goals, 3 from set shots. He's a beauty. You can just... I love the way he clunks the ball. There's never 2 grabs when he takes a mark. And even on this occasion, they eventually got near him, but he's just solid.
Well, you called it though, Doug. You stand on the boundary on his own, unattended, within 30 metres of goal. I think you can stand off him and support the corridor, but you've got to be able to get over to spoil him. Staggering.
McDonald's Remote Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Pies with back-to-back goals and a commanding 19-point lead. Inside the last 5 minutes before half-time, and Josh Dacos racking them up at the moment to half-forward McCreary. Overend the footy. Saad with pace will be the first one there. Socket off the ground. He'll go back after it. Well played by Saad. He's got a runner on the inside. Handball now to Chera. Chera going to be run down. He gets the left foot. It was a worm-burning, bouncing ball towards Curnow. Misses with a handball. Opportunity now for Martin. Martin has to track the ball back outside 50, feeds it all the way back to the middle. They load up again, the Blues. He's the only man there. Ball at ground level. Collingwood got the numbers. Handball it out to Josh Dacos, and Josh Dacos looking for side bottom. Ball just out in front of him. They have to sock it off the ground. He's got players on. Elects not to do it. Chera did it really well. Ball near the boundary line, and eventually it gets out of bounds at half forward for Carlton.
Just another passage of play with just 2 handballs.
Well, Curnow, you're right, Duck. He was out. He just hit it too hard and caused a turnover the other way when they were out.
The ball's going to be thrown in. 70 out from the Blues goal. They trail by 19 points. Pitnet and Cox, they use that defensive winger, Pendlebury. Squeezes a little kick. McCreary had a little fumble, but then was easily able to fend off Mitch McGovern, and then just pokes the ball straight to Lewis Young.
Outside 5. Outside 5.
Half-back members side, MCG. 3 minutes left in this half. Doesn't have a lot to go to. Mackay comes up and offers a long lead. Maynard's on his hammer. Brings it to ground. Chera sees it out of bounds.
Good work by Mackay. Right, nothing on then.
Right in front of our man Robbo, Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, Darcy Cameron struggling, I reckon, with this right knee. More strapping on it. The PCL, they've had a good look at it. They'll get him to half-time, but really limping on that right side. They'll look at him.
Centre wing boundary throw-in. Cox went up and completely missed it. That allowed Pitnet to go inside forward 50. Darcy more, though. Back with the flight. Takes a good mark. Read it beautifully.
What's that? 13? 14.
That is 15 intercept marks, Duck.
Darcy Moore to centre wing, looking for Cameron. Cox is there too. Can't mark it front of the pack though. Hoskin Elliott sharked it and then pumped it towards half forward. A bouncing ball and eventually bounces out of bounds.
Triple M Reds there. Josh Dacos leading ball winner for the Magpies with 15-9 in this second term. Cherry racked up 11 the first, only 3 in this quarter, 14 for the game.
Red Z lending stats, loans for the self-employed.
The boundary throw in. Rossline called it. Blues are now rounding up that Collingwood winger. They don't want to let him free, and Cox giving away a free kick for a push to Pitnet.
Descent, 50.
And a bit of descent against Big Meso, so it's going to be 50.
It'll be another 50.
And he's got to be careful.
It is.
That should be.
It should be.
He ran through the mark. He didn't get out of the protected area.
Play on.
Been lucky a few times, the Pies.
And Pitnet handballs it off to Doherty, who tried to squeeze one of Silvani. Collingwood's defence were onto it.
My ball.
And Quaynor's wrapped up 50 metres out.
No try, ball pinned. Thanks, Isaac. Take it away.
Good
Mason,
tackle from Silvani, working hard as always. Can the Blues generate something from a stoppage? Zach Fisher trying to break free. Motlop does, wins the footy, snaps it himself. It's going to be high, it'll go into the pocket and out of bounds on the full. Another clearance win.
Let's finish off. Outside
But
five.
no score to come from it for the Blues. Minute 58 left on the clock. Just having got the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Should have been a 50 against Mason Cox, a double 50 in fact, but umpire's given them the benefit of the doubt a few times in this half, and the Pies will reload through Quaynor.
Quaynor, an easy release here. He gets it to Elliott, Jamie Elliott, all the way up from the forward half of the ground, marks it in defensive 50. Umpire calls him to play on. He's looking for Hoskin Elliott. From the side goes Martin. The ball got out the back. Young was there and he wants it out of bounds, and it's Marchbank. Boundary throw in. Minute 36 to go before half time. Collingwood just a bit cleaner, Ross.
Yeah, they are. Carlton are awesome in the contest. They're smacking the Pies in that area. But it's if Carlton they're in this game, they're back in, as Duck said. If they just tidy up their fundamentals and start scoring a bit more efficiently, there's no doubt they can win this from here.
Crisp, handball missed the target. Opportunity for Setterfield. Handball was a little bit strong for Cripps. Setterfield then got it back from Cripps. Goes to half forward. Martin strong above his head. Thought he took the mark. The umpire didn't. Caught him to play on. Motlop, couple of touches. Haven't seen a lot of him so far. He falls over. And the umpire will ball it up.
Geez, they're unlucky there, Carlton. Martin had a big piece of that, Duck.
Yeah. Mark for mine.
I've seen less paid, Ross. So a minute 10 to go. Umpire throws it up. Opportunity for Pittonet. Quickly kicks it forward. Opportunity now for Curnow, but Collingwood get back in numbers again, and Josh Dacos receives the mark.
And he's just going to steady it down with only 56 seconds left in the half. They'll be happy with this halftime scoreline, the Pies. They don't want to concede one late. So he goes the conservative route, long down the line. Big pack of players. Lewis Young's had a good first half. Throw on the boot. Dacos takes another intercept mark. 16 and a half. That's normally the average for a full game. And he finds Hoskin Elliott, the crowd wanting to go. I think the bench are just letting him know how long to go. You don't want to concede one because he missed Elliott. Lewis Young will mop it up. Back to Marchbank. High ball, that could make rain. Who wants to stand under that? Nobody. Doherty. He doesn't want to know about it. He coughs it up. Hoskin Elliott. Crisp now's got time. 14 seconds on the clock. Goes inside 50. Johnson's got 3 to beat. He couldn't. Lewis Young's there. Wiedering. Happy to clear the area. The mark's taken by Mackay, but he looks up. Collingwood have got the extra, and that'll see us out at half-time. Good game of footy here at the MCG. Everything we wanted in this one. Collingwood and Carlton, the arch rivals. Blues for a spot in the top 8. The Pies for a spot in the top 4. And it's Collingwood. They'll be pleased with this half-time lead. They're 5-6-36. Carlton 2-5-17. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Ross Lyon, Wayne Carey will sum up half-time. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
Built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Triple M is your home of the Marty Sheargold Show.
Last time I was in Bali, I put tape over my mouth in the shower for the first 3 days I was there.
Are you serious?
Joking? Could you just keep your head out of the water? I didn't want one drop in my mouth.
You were that worried about it? Did you tie your hands up in the shower as well?
Not on that trip.
The Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6 on Melbourne's 105.1 Triple M.
NIB's Green Pass gives you health perks without the premiums.
Quarter Pounder, a true classic. Juicy Aussie beef and bacon? Macca's Quarter Pounder with bacon. Maybe the sequel is even better than the original. Available after 10:30am for a limited time.
Running a trades business isn't all sunshine and rainbows. It's full of spreadsheets and paperwork. That's why I use Fergus. It takes care of all my admin so I can focus on the things I'm actually good at. Plus, it's got a bunch of handy tools to help keep my business under control. You ripper.
Fergus Job Software. Tradies swear by it. Visit fergus.com/radio where you'll get a $200 discount to get you started.
Okay, recovery kit.
Check.
Torque winch.
Check.
Tyre deflator.
Check.
Air compressor.
Check.
Recovery jack.
Check.
Tyre repair kit.
Check.
XGS shocks.
Check.
Recovery boards.
Yep, check.
Driving lights.
Check.
AirTech snorkel.
Check.
And recovery shackle.
Check.
Love the off-road? Check out TJM Epping's brand new store.
Check.
Now open at 348 Cooper Street, Epping. Come down and get yourself 4x4 equipped. TJM, take the lead.
Renault Traffic is now in run-out, so it's time to make your business stand out with a bold and dependable van. No matter your trade, Renault Traffic gets the job done in style and comfort. With limited stock available, contact your Renault dealer today.
Renault.
Get ready for the big time in Sydney as the ICC Men's T20 World Cup comes to town. The biggest event on this year's international sporting calendar is heading for the SCG. Catch the biggest stars and the biggest hits as the giants of world cricket battle it out for the ultimate prize at the SCG from October 22 to November 9. Don't miss your chance to experience the big time in Sydney. Get your tickets now at t20worldcup.com.
Let TPG Telecom make your business journey more straightforward. We provide reliable, secure, fast and affordable telecom solutions that work for you. Work is made easier when we do business together. Visit tpgtelecom.com.au.
It's estimated 45% of people in Australia will face a mental health condition in their lifetime. However, most will not seek support. Beyond Blue needs your help to change this. They're encouraging everyone to host a Big Blue table this October. Host your guests, share a meal, start meaningful conversations, and help raise funds for those facing anxiety, depression, and suicide. Go beyond small talk and host a Big Blue table to raise funds for Beyond Blue. Visit bigbluetable.com.au.
With IGA's Community Give Back sale, you can make big savings.
And help support local causes right on your doorstep.
Look for tickets on specials like kettle potato chips 150 to 175 gram, $2.75 each. That's half price. Now at your local IGA. Offer ends August 23 while stocks last.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools. One battery, corded power, backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy, halftime MCG, and it's the Pies with a 19-point lead. They're 5-6-36. The Carlton side 2-5-17. Jack Ginnivan has 2. Ash Johnson, Jack Crisp and Steele Sidebottom, the goal kickers for the Pies, Matt Owies and Harry Mackay, both goals in that second term to the Blues. Lee Montagna here with Ash Stewart and Ross Lyon for half-time. We will get to Jay-Z in a minute because of the big news today about Ben Rutten. But before we do that, Ash, just a bit of a recap. What's happened in this first half? Why is it such a low-scoring dour affair?
Yeah, but look at the team stats. Well weighed in favour of the Blues with some of the key data here. 29 to 24 of the entries. They're plus 25 in contested ball, plus 10 in clearances. But if we look at those intercept marks by the Maggies, they've already racked up 16.5. As you said, Joey, that's the AFL average per game. They've taken 7 inside their D50. Teams only average 6 for an entire game. And those intercept mark key operators for the Magpies, 5 to Maynard and 3 each to Moore and Noble. And the scores from turnover, 35 out of the 36 points for the Maggies have come from Carlton turnovers, 5-5 to the Blues at 1-4. And just quickly, just some leading ball winners. Look, Paddy Cripps has had 17 touches along with 7 clearances. Setterfield with 15. Chera, 14, 11 the first, only 3 in that second term.
What Cripps have in the first quarter, too?
Yeah, Patrick Cripps had 5.
For the second, yeah.
Yeah, 5 and 12.
12 in the,
in that second quarter. And for the Blues, Joey, 17 to Josh Dacos.
Of course, just recapping, the Western Bulldogs had a win down in Tasmania, so the Blues have to win to play finals. Doesn't matter, or a draw, but they need to win to play finals, of course. This is the halftime break for Bosch Power Tools. Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools, 1 battery, corded power, backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee. Ross Lyon, how'd you see that first half?
Well, I think looking on the big picture, we spoke about strategically Q1, the Pies were winning the battle. They had the +1. They used that to defend and then counterpunch, even though when Carlton were winning a lot of contested ball, and when Collingwood went forward, they had even numbers. So Collingwood were able to pressure the Carlton defensive ball movement, bringing it out and score off turnover. Well, that quarter, they flipped it on the head, the Blues. They kept winning the ball, kept winning the clearances, but when they went forward, they had equal numbers. So all of a sudden, Curnow and Mackay and Martin looked really dangerous. And then the other thing it did, when Collingwood did win the ball off those intercepts, when they went to go quick, Carlton stifled them and turned the ball over. So they had 10 attacking mid or 9 attacking mid-possession games that quarter. In the first quarter, they only had 5. So they flipped it on its head, and they really got back into the game. But Duck called it. Unless they fix their fundamental ball handling and disposal, the execution under pressure, they're not going to win this game. They're doing that really well, winning it and creating opportunities. So if you're Michael Voss, you're sitting there and saying, as Duck said, well, not that you can play any worse. We're doing the fundamentals of winning it well. We've figured out take off their spare. So, boys, you're going to go forward to equal numbers. But just in the heat, stay calm, have soft hands, gather the ball and see your options, and we'll get moving on the scoreboard. So we've taken away Collingwood's strengths and we've got on our terms. But unless you fix your execution, because what do we see at the other end? We see DeGoey come out and hit Elliott on a lead. You see the young fella Johnson and Ginnivan, and that to me has been the difference in the game. Their ability to stay relaxed. Pendlebury's calm, Moore's calm. They just need that to go. Even Cripps, I know he had a few, but he had a number of smothered kicks. He had a number of handballs that hit the ground, and I think unless Carlton can tidy that up, they don't win. But they're certainly in the game. They've got a lot going right, but tidy up the fundamentals, because strategically we've figured out how to handle Collingwood.
As we said, plus 10 clearance, was it? Plus 26 contested ball. So they are winning it, but they're not composed with it. The Pies' pressure is just forcing them to rush their kicks, rush their handballs, and it's not giving them the best chance. If they can absorb that pressure in the second half, the Blues, they might be able to get back into this game. But the other big news of the day, Jay-Z, as we welcome you back into the halftime break, is the news about Ben Rutten. Can you please fill the listeners in? What's gone on this morning since the board meeting?
Yeah, big news out of Tullamarine, Joey. Recapping, Ben Rutten has been let go as senior coach of the Essendon Football. 1 year remaining on his contract, about $600,000. So the Bombers will have to pay that out, and that will be included in the soft cap cost next season. And there's a situation here where the Bombers could absolutely pay tax on their soft cap. They could go over the limit next year when they're including costs in the new coach and the Rutten payout. Now, the big takeaways from the David Barham, Xavier Campbell press conference, we'll hear from him shortly, is that they want an experienced coach. Right,
so they've decided today, have they?
They think they've got a very good prime young list. They want to give it the best opportunity, and to do that, very clearly want an experienced coach. So to use the Chris Judd expression for the David Teague era, he doesn't want someone with training wheels. They want someone who's ready to go. We're looking at anyone in this box.
Well, I think you've got Mark Williams, to be honest, premiership coach.
Yep.
Has been at Essendon when they've won a flag, I think. He's got a great relationship with Shooty. He's been really pumped back up his role at Melbourne and Richmond and all that. And I just think he is one that is ideal for them.
Does that narrow the field?
Yeah,
it narrows the field to how many?
Absolutely does. It means your man Adam Uze or Adam Kingsley, Ashley Hansen, you can put a line through him. I think you're talking about Port Adelaide's Ken Hinkley. I know he's been very categoric.
His contract.
But that, Ross,
unless he's got an option like I had in.
What does the past week tell you about the value and worth of a contract? Mate, it's what suits people at certain times. They can be torn up in a jiffy. We've seen that. On the future of James Hird, the power brokers were very coy, so I don't think you can rule Hirdy in or out yet.
I'm reeling him in. I'm reeling him in.
You were very strong on that. Let's have a listen to David Barham and CEO Xavier Campbell. They had a marathon 3-hour board meeting this morning. The follow-up press conference, the decision to let Ben Rutten go. This is Dave Barham and Xavier Campbell.
The board of the Essendon Football Club met this morning. As a result of that meeting, I am announcing that we have terminated the coaching contract for Ben Rutten with immediate effect. Straight after the board meeting, I called Ben personally to let him know this. Understandably, Ben was deeply disappointed. But after Essendon's on-field performance this season, I spoke to Ben about why change was necessary. He understands the board's reasoning. There's no question that the process this past week of making a decision about Ben's future has been difficult and messy. For that, the board and I take responsibility. In speaking to Ben, I thanked him for his utter professionalism and for his service and commitment to our club. I also called the player leadership group and let them know what was going on. As we stated during the week, we're finalising a process to launch an independent external review to understand what we need to do differently to turn our performance around. This past week has been challenging and hard. To our players, our fans, our supporters and our staff, I want to assure you that there is commitment and resolve across our board and our club to take every step we need to reset and become a great club again.
Yeah, they've got to get going, the Bombers. It's going to be an interesting few weeks. Ross, you said you'd take North Melbourne's call. Would you take the Bombers' call?
I'm not taking anyone's call, mate.
Hey, we're going to get to a break. Before we do that, the halftime segment, the Amy Clangers. Who covers Clangers on and off the field? Amy does. Here's how we called it in the first half.
We're going to head to a break. Up after the break. We're not far away from this one. How good is the weather? MCG, 95,000. Just take the earphones off whenever you feel like, Ross. They're still live. That's all the banging. Nobody fell over in the back row. It's just Ross taking his goggles off in the back.
He's still a part-timer. He's still a novice, Ross Lyon. He's still learning. You can't drop your headset while we're still on air. We'll get to a break because after this, we'll get ready for a big second half here at the MCG. Can the Blues mount a comeback? Plenty more to play out for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That halftime break for Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools. One battery, corded power. Backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Straight after this game, Triple M continues to rock footy.
You betcha!
Join the Temper Mattress call team for the Saints and Swans. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
At some point, going through the motions just wasn't getting me up in the morning, so I went searching for something that would. Becoming a police officer wasn't something I'd planned. But facing challenges, living outside my comfort zone, and helping people are things I get to do every day. Just so happens to be my job. Make today different. Search police careers. You call that pain relief? This is pain relief. Try Magic Magnesium for natural relief of aches, pains, cramps and disturbed sleep. Available at selected pharmacies or abundantnaturalhealth.com.au. Always read the label, use only as directed. If symptoms persist, talk to your healthcare professional.
We're definitely made for Father's Day. I mean, I know for my dad, if he could have his dream weekend, it would be at Bunnings. Lowest prices means that I can get him a little bit more, and I love that.
3.7 metre multifold ladder, only $180. Orion Smart Video Doorbell, just $99. Where you find a competitor's lower price on the same stocked item, available for same-day delivery or collection, we'll beat it by 10%. Conditions apply. See website for details. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Hold on to your seats, Australia. The Gem is back with a new mega giveaway this August, and they've upped the ante. We're talking a black-on-black 2022 Range Rover Sport with 24-inch wheels worth $150K. And it doesn't stop there. The Gem are also giving away a custom Harley-Davidson V-Rod worth $55K. You heard right. We're giving away both to our Lucky Rewards members. So if you're in the need for speed, head over to thegem.com. Become a member before August 31 for less than $5 a week for your chance to win. T's and C's apply.
Oh, the Blind Factory!
They say that
Hey
imitation
Brett,
is
why does radio advertising work so well for the Blind Factory?
I think it's about trust. You know, the station has a lot of trust with the listeners, and obviously they're telling on air, and that extends to us as advertisers.
Your ads are pretty hard to miss.
The recall is off the charts.
Luckily, the song is too. Discover the unlimited ways to make your brand a household name at commercialradio.com.au. Radio. Unlimited.
It's the warehouse sale at Amart. Save big with up to 55% off a huge range of furniture so you can transform your home for less. Hurry, you won't want to miss this at Amart.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Straight after this game, Triple M continues to rock footy.
You betcha!
Join the Temper Mattress call team for the Saints and Swans. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Good blokes don't abuse local umpires. Great blokes call it out. Triple M stands against umpire abuse.
Hi, I'm James Royce. Barnaby Joy says he wasn't aware that his former boss had taken on 5 portfolios without anyone else's knowledge before he eventually joined the dots for himself. Scott Morrison has this week defended his decision to swear himself into those ministerial roles during the pandemic, and he's resisting calls to quit politics. His former deputies told the ABC he learned about those extra powers over time.
It sort of arrived there obliquely. Obviously, I wasn't aware of it at the start because it had happened prior to me coming back as leader. And then over a period of time in the discussions of the PEP 11, became more apparent that the Prime Minister had greater powers than I initially assumed.
Meantime, the PM says an inquiry will investigate whether any decisions that ScoMo made with those secret portfolios would be in breach of constitutional conventions. Qantas boss Alan Joyce has apologised to his airline's customers and frequent flyers, conceding its recent performance has not been good enough. It follows months of frustrations caused by lost luggage, cancelled flights and big delays at airports. As an olive branch, some frequent flyers will score a $50 voucher, free invites to the Qantas lounge, and they'll have their status entitlements extended. Queensland Police are appealing for help to find an 11-year-old girl who's been missing from the Ipswich area for the last week. And Western Australia's wheat belt has been rattled by a 4.3 magnitude earthquake this afternoon. It struck around 50 k's from the small town of Wongan Hills.
Get the new Audi A3 Sportback 35 TFSI from $51,495 drive away with 5-year manufacturer's warranty. T's and C's at audi.com.au.
Checking Triple M Melbourne weather, down to 9 tonight, windy tomorrow, rain developing and 16, then a few showers and 12 on Tuesday. Our listener app is the new home of Triple M. Download now to listen live or on demand.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon, making every tradie's job easier.
Where would you rather be on a MCG Sunday afternoon? Carlton up against Collingwood, over 90,000 people here. The Pies led by 20 points at quarter time. They kicked all 3 goals in the first quarter. The Blues got a couple back, and then Ginnivan and Johnson kicked goals for the Pies, and they lead by 19 points at half-time. 2-5-17 the Blues, 5-6-36 the Magpies for McDonald's. And Ream Hot Water Triple M Rocks footy going to head down to the boundary now. Robbo, it's a big crowd building for Bob Jane Team Art, so I think you've got an insight onto how many people might be here.
Yeah, and it supports you, Brownie, because I was talking to the AFL and an early estimate is 87,600 and counting, so early days, so it could reach the 90,000.
Well, I said 90.
Yeah, so it is a
big
crowd in the house, making a heap of noise. I tell you who else is making the noise. The coaches. Are they having a crack at the umpiring fraternity down here as well? They turn, they have a crack at them. I haven't seen them like that vocal before, so both Voss and McRae are really supporting their side. The other one is Darcy Cameron. He's a little bit more mobile now. They've worked on that knee for sure. Heavy impact, right knee, PCL region, heavy strapping, but he's okay. He'll start in the second half.
Choice hotels around the grounds, Ash.
We're underway at Marvel Stadium. St Kilda 1-1-7, leading the Swans by 6 points early into the first quarter.
How much does Sydney have to win by to go ahead of Melbourne?
Yep, Sydney need to win between 7 to 8 goals thereabouts to be safe, Brownie, to nail second spot on the ladder.
Both sides back out on the ground. The Blues just wandering out to their positions as the Pies are at the moment. A massive second half coming up. The Blues haven't played finals in a long time.
2013.
And at the moment, they're 19 points down. 2013 was the last time. How have you seen Doherty's game in the middle, Ross?
Yeah, he's been whacking away. He's applied some good pressure. I wouldn't think he's been a standout, but between him and Setterfield, they're certainly getting enough clearance, and Chera and Cripps. As a collective, I'd like to see Fisher really step up and use his speed and skill on the wing. So, look, you can't have asked for more than they've done. They just need to be a bit cleaner and take advantage of their clearance dominance a little bit more.
He doesn't get balls out the front of the stoppage. It's always around the corner kick when he gets it out the back.
Well, he's not running out, is he? Yeah.
Supporting tradies, they have 120 stores nationwide, expert trade teams and exclusive trade services. A huge range of lights, fans and electrical accessories makes every tradie's job easier. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
Here we go, 87,000 people back in their seats, ready for the second half here. Pitnet tries to follow up his own tap work. DeGoey, Chera, pile on, inside the centre square.
Thanks, Adam. Who we got? Mark, Darcy.
Ball thrown back up. Crispin side bottom in this stoppage. Cripps another clearance. Throws it on the boot. Who's going to win these critical one-on-ones inside the Blues 50 this half? Jack Martin did well with some strength. Doherty not going anywhere. A couple of Pies slay the tackle. And they get field position early in this third term, the Blues. Ball up inside 50.
Missing the cleanness of Sam Walsh around stoppages, aren't they?
Net punches it forward. Silvani tries to tap it into the path of Chera. There's a bit of cleanness and class. That's what the Blues are looking for. Silvani and Cripps ran into each other. They're both sore, but Chera got the goal. And a good start to this third term for the Blues. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. They're 3-5-23. The Pies 5-6-36.
Well, I remember the famous Hawthorn captain and premiership player, Don Scott, used to love it when two teammates collide with eyes on the ball because it really signals intent. And that really was 2 feet, both eyes for the ball there. Nothing wrong with that. And then allows Chera beautiful clean left foot.
He's in a lot of pain, Paddy Cripps.
He'll be fine. He's tough.
He's a tough. I know he's very tough, but geez, I hope he hasn't got a cracked rib or something.
For the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, Silvani and Cripps both eyes.
Sternum.
Got him right down the middle duct, didn't he?
Yep.
For the best dad ever at Harvey Norman. Great deals for Father's Day in store online now. Harvey Norman. The replay from Harvey Norman showing it beautifully. So Carlton player comes off.
Well done by Maynard too, just to pat him and say, there's just a real mutual respect there. I saw Maynard get hit in the grand final by was it Rioli?
How can you have 19 players right on the field and no free kick or anything be paid?
Why? What's happened?
Well, Setterfield ran onto the ground and then goes, there's already 18, ran back off.
For McDonald's Ram Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Carlton get the first one of the third term. DeGoey wrapped up in the middle, big tackle. The umpire's going to pig him.
The ball, trying to evade. Let it up, Jordan.
So this is where you feel like the Blues need to make their run.
Jordan, ball.
And that little bit of time that DeGoey wasted there, that's 50 metres.
Oh, he tricked him.
Sucked him in.
Oh, double trick.
It's a big penalty, isn't it?
Doherty will be 30 metres out directly in front.
And to be fair, they've missed out on a couple of the Blues they should have had earlier.
It's just hard not to move when a player, you think he's going to give that quick handball to Saab, and then DeGoey just instinctively just takes a couple of little steps. It's a big penalty. Smart by Doherty.
He's a good user, Doherty. Doesn't get many set shots. The crowd will erupt if he kicks this back-to-back goals to start the third term for the Blues. Listen to that. And they're within 7 points. Doherty gets one on the back of Chera. And it's 5-6-36. Carlton 4-5-29. Beacon Trade scoreboard.
And since Collingwood dominated the early entries, I think it was like 12-6. Carlton have turned that around by 7. So it's a swing of 13. So it just talks to the momentum and the control of this game they got. And now they're just starting to tidy up the little bits and pieces.
Yeah, since quarter time, Ross, the entries are 19-9. Carlton's way in the stoppages. We know they've been dominating the clearances. They're at 26-13, but they've now kicked 3 goals, 1 from that score source. Collingwood only 1 behind.
Triple M Red Z lending stats, loans to the self-employed. The two-man dominating. Cripps is feeling better, and he's back in the centre bounce. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy, and he dumps DeGoey off the ball, and the umpire out of zone's going to pay it.
That's not a free kick. No, they're both wrestling.
DeGoey's kick. He doesn't know which way they're going. He doesn't know which way they're going. Other way, he's going the other way. Wait, stop.
Come on, umpire.
Had no idea what was going on there because DeGoey thought he was going the other way.
Get control, umpire.
How about no way?
Yeah,
Stop. Blow your whistle.
It's not the umpire's job to tell DeGoey which way he's going, by the way.
No, but he can't then handball the ball and play on when he's forward of the mark.
Yeah, but the umpire said no.
He was 5 metres over the mark.
Bravo, I'm confused.
Anyway, boundary throwing inside 50 for the Pies. 30 metres out, there's DeGoey. Trying to get the handball to Pendlebury.
He's in everything, DeGoey.
He's been very good. His work rate's been exceptional. And we'll get a secondary stoppage, ball up, 40 out from the Pies goal.
What we are seeing is a continuation of last week's Collingwood midfield struggling.
Doherty, kick partially smothered. Pendlebury lurking off the back of this stoppage. Lipinski back to Crisp. Pulls the kick. McCreary has to go. So does Young. Both kept their eye on the ball. Now Cripps will mop up. He doesn't blast it. He tries to handball to Silvani, and it'll get the Motlop. That half-back kicks around the body. Howe's got position on Charlie Curnow and took a strong mark in front.
Well, I know you said they both went, but McCleary should have been stronger at that one. I thought the Carlton player really attacked the ball.
Best game I've seen Lewis Young play for the Blues. Actually, best game I've seen him play full stop. Ball got out the back. Sard tapped it to that man, Lewis Young, on cue. Handballs back to Marchbank, had a fumble. Luckily, got it to Lewis Young, who then had a fresh area almost. Lipinski had it, spin it, lost. Setterfield towards centre wing. Owies and Maynard. Maynard was a bit tougher. McCreary handballed out the side bottom. He had a fumble. Handball missed the target to Lipinski. And the ball goes out of bounds on the 50. Collingwood in attack. 5-6-36. 4-5-29. We've only played 2 minutes 45 of game time in this quarter, but there's been a lot happening. And Robbo, Bob Jones teammates.
Sard's no good. Grabbing his thigh and up around the rib cage as well. So copped a heavy hit just before, about a minute ago. So on the bench, Sard.
He'll be right, Sard. He always seems to get sore in games and then he gets back out there. Quick kick from Pitnet.
What are you saying?
Towards the wing. I'm just saying a lot of the time he always gets sore and gets doctor's treatments and then he gets back out there. It's just something that happens every week with Sard.
I know we sort of were on Pitnet early, but he had a number of clearances, Stu, hadn't he? He's up to around 4 or 5 clearances.
Triple M Reds had 5 clearances, second most on the ground, Ross.
Hardly touched him.
He'll be right, you reckon, Doug?
Yep.
Yeah, Sard will be right. Just getting looked at as the ball's thrown in on centre wing. Doherty taking in a big tackle. A few Blues fans thought it might have been high, but it was to go again.
He's involved in everything to go.
We got Mark Darcy.
So ball up. 3 players on the defensive side of each pack, and McRae is one of them. And off the side of the boot, Lipinski's the first one there. Can't mark it. Williams keeps it in. Right footed towards half forward. Martin can't mark it. Fisted. 50-50 ball. Chera was good, came through. He got it to Curnow, went back and got it. Chera already kicked the goal this quarter. He was slung out of the contest. That'll be kicked to Chera.
And 50. No.
Gee, big moment for the young man to go back. He'll have to kick it every bit of 52.
Yeah, they're going hard, the Blues, at ground level. They're really committed here.
Duck, Triple M Harvey Norman replay. What do you think?
I think he got knocked out in the tackle, and then I guess he followed through with the tackle.
Well, you can't sling him to the ground, can you? They'll have a look at that.
Yeah. Kick it from here, Ross.
Yeah,
he can make the distance from there, no problem.
Gifts for the best dad ever at Harvey Norman. Great deals for Father's Day in store or online now. Harvey Norman.
We talked him up before the game to have a big day. He's already kicked the goal from 55. Chera on the way. Wow. It's a big kick. It's a huge kick. The Blues get to within a point. Chera's got 2 this quarter to go with 1 from Doherty. 36 plays, 35. Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, you're all over that, Ross. I thought he was a little bit too far out. He just flushed that. They always say timing, technique equals distance. You don't overkick it. That was just a nice, fluent, easy run through.
And what we know about him is he's clean and he's tough. So the contested situation today takes a bit of pressure off his run, and he's won it in the clinches, and he's been clean.
Choice Hotels around the grounds, book directed save.
Goal to the Saints, so St Kilda leading the Swans by 1 point early into the first quarter. And Triple M Red Z, Carlton's efficiency, 3 entries this quarter for 3 goals zip, and they're dominating the contested ball again, +7.
+7 already this quarter.
And
so
ground ball.
30.
Ground ball +23. They're smashing the pies in the contest.
Smashing them around the ball, and it's game on now. 1 point the margin. Pies have got to get to work in the midfield. Ginnivan had a little fumble. Williams starting to get involved. Kicks towards half forward. Noble and Chera. Nick Dacos, we haven't called his name too much in this game, I don't think. Pulls the kick. Sees the 2v1. Pendlebury clever. Knew he had the support. Didn't go for the mark. Dacos just along the ground. Wiedering. Another ground ball into the Blues. Zach Williams around the body. One-on-one contest. Dacos and Owies. Chera's been in everything. Couldn't get the arms free. Ball spills out. This is just at half forward for the Blues. Pendlebury, clean. Sweeping handball to Josh Dacos. Wrapped up with a massive tackle. Caleb Marchbank nails him, holding the ball. Atmosphere is electric here at the MCG. Blues fans have come to life. They were nervous at half-time.
Right at this point in time, they are harder and want the ball more than Collingwood.
100%, Doug.
Free player on at half forward is Curnow. Still 2 kicks from home. Got a short option on him, Fisher. He's not going there. Silvani pleading for it forward. He's going to go long. Mackay's there. High! Umpire doesn't play it. That was as high as you get. Ball at ground level. We'll have a ball up.
Oh, we need the sub and umpire off here. They're missing some obvious stuff.
That was mark of the year, not paid by the umpire.
Oh, yeah, that's a mark.
Oh, gee whiz.
Ball up.
Ground.
Cox out of the ruck. Got some good purchase with it. Fist to the ground level. Ginnivan fumbled his last one. That should be deliberate. Umpire says no.
Well, he should have went down at the ball then, Ginnivan. He could have got 2 hands down over the ball.
What's the pressure, two-man? I know they were about 170, 180 in the first half, Carlton.
Yeah, spot on. 227 in this quarter, opposed to 176 in the first half.
Adam Sard back on the ground. Ball thrown in half forward for the Blues. Cox has got the advantage on Silvani. Tries to slap it forward, but they're going to get another free kick for the Blues. Dominating around the ball. It's going to be Doherty.
Outside 5, Tom, back on. Outside 5.
And he's just going to kick it in long and strong. Top of the square. Charlie Curnow's going to try! And he got to the front, and he took the mark.
10 metres.
Well, that was on Howe. Howe just couldn't compete with him one-on-one.
All that he did there is he read the flight of the ball a little bit better than everyone else, so he worked his way in front of the pack.
He stepped around the pack to the left-hand side. Howe got stuck at the back, though.
Yeah,
Great pick-up.
Became uncontested, but hey, we've got the jack in the box.
He's only 30 metres out.
The jack in the box is on the mark.
Cox is on the mark. He's been tentative with a couple, Charlie. I want to see him strut back and kick this one. He does. He's up and about now. And the Blues, for the first time today, have hit the front. They've kicked 4 goals in 12 minutes. And they're 6-5-41. The Pies 5-6-36. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
He had a great deal of success in the jack in the box when it first started. I think people are all over it now.
I think he's springing up early, isn't he? He's got to time his run. But the Carlton midfield, so Chero's had a big quarter. We've got Doherty. We spoke about Doherty. How's he going? He looks like he's having an impact coming out the front of some stoppages.
He is. 4 disposals, 3 clearances, 1 major, along with a couple of tackles and a couple of inside 50s for Doherty.
And that's Collingwood's issue. I mean, Pendlebury and really Dacos fighting a lone hand through the midfield. Lipinski, side bottom. Crisp haven't had enough ball. DeGoey's only had 9.
The Blues have banged on 4 at the start of the third term.
But what do we know about the Pies, Joey?
They'll keep coming.
You got to play the minutes. They can't relax. They can't relent.
Been inside 5 times for 4 goals.
5-point lead to Carlton. Fisted forward. Sard back out there, as Joey said. Socket out of mid-air, Lord. Centre wing. Side bottom did well to push it forward. The Blues got numbers. Doherty at half back. He goes long. Quainer from the back. Can't mark it. Ball almost goes out of bounds, and it does in the end. The umpire will throw it in on centre wing.
Well, and just strategically, so it's funny how the game flips. Carlton have now got equal numbers in front of the ball. Collingwood under pressure, are rolling one up, giving Carlton a +1 in defence.
Throw in centre wing.
And it's Lewis Young peeling off McCleary for the +1.
Blues have kicked 4 consecutive goals to start this third term. To hit the front. Cripps, strong tackle on Lipinski.
Jack Silvani does a good job in the ruck for being so undersized.
He does. He just nullifies it. He just doesn't allow the other ruck to get to work. Cox tries to tap it down to Finn McRae. Blues pressure's excellent. Doherty again. Shovels an underground handball. Setterfield goes for a tackle on side bottom. Good play. 1-2 with Lipinski. Now Finn McRae. Great smother. Doherty. Turnover. Blues are away. Cottrell. Who's going to take the mark? Quaynor got in front of Motlop. Took the mark. Half back for the Pies. And they just need a bit of ball here and steady just to get a bit of momentum back.
Noble in the defensive 50. Chips the ball to the lead of Josh Dacos. He's got another lead up, and that's Hoskin Elliott. On the outer side, Shane Warne stand. Hoskin Elliott wants to come into the middle. That's a really good kick to Lipinski. Does the game open up for him? Has to go back over the mark. He sees a short ball, and it's a good ball. And he finds Finn McRae. McRae's got Noble on the outside. He's got Dacos even further wide. Dacos now looks up. Normally a good user. Coming out is Cameron. And he takes the mark for the Pies. Good use by Dacos.
Oh, he's all class, isn't he? He just held on as long as he had until the lead come up. Cameron, he just put it in his space and drew him to the ball beautifully.
I reckon that's the first mistake. Is it Young or Marchbank made? They just waited for it.
Darcy Cameron had the injury concerns, but not off the ground today.
And we know he's confident in his goal kicking.
He told us.
They led by 19. At half-time, they trail by 5. He loves his goal kicking. Darcy Cameron to the punt road end. And he missed.
38-16.
3 for 1 behind. 5-7-37 the Pies, 6-5-41 the Blues. Beacon Trade scoreboard. Supporting tradies over 120 stores. Expert trade teams, design services, and huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon makes every tradie's job easy.
Zach Williams does the kick in, saw Stocker come off the bench. It was a beautiful kick. Travelled 60, got there low and hard. And Stocker takes the mark in front of the interchange gates. Pops it over to Chera. Had Cottrell if he wanted him. And they're happy just to control the ball by foot to Fisher. So they've worked it up nicely to half forward, and he's now going to wheel and go. The big boys are all in the contest. Harry Mackay, second bite, couldn't quite. Now Chris taking in a strong tackle. Blues lock it in there forward 50.
That's the difference as well. They get it to ground, they get a stoppage inside 50.
How many intercept marks this quarter for Collingwood, Chu?
Only 2 in comparison to 16 in the first half.
Cottrell throws it on the boot, Motlop in front. Not 15. Another ball up, 40 out.
And Joey, just with the uncontested marks, Collingwood took 41 in the first half. They only registered their first uncontested mark 14 minutes into this third quarter.
Umpire balls it up. Blues in attack. They lead by 5. McRae hurriedly onto the boot. Only as far as Cottrell running back with the fight. Then Cottrell will put the Blues back inside forward 50. He loads up now. Darting kick into the pocket. Mackay's there. Mackay at the front of the pack, beat 2 of them.
And I'd say this is probably his favourite position, the one around the corner.
So definitely snap it from here, Duck.
Yep.
Putting this in the book, Duck?
Yep. Mark it down, big fella.
This for 5 in a row for the Blues.
And that's a really good mark too, because in the first half, that, like we said, that was being intercepted.
And Robbo's Northwestern should kick in here, just help it drift back in.
Mackay runs around left foot, brings it back, and brings it back well. The Blues are coming. They're more than coming. They're 10 points in front. 7-5-47. Collingwood a 5-7-37. Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, it's a great call, Brownie. You're right. They're on the march, the Blues. Contested ball. They're dominated this quarter, it feels like, too.
Yeah, plus 11 in contested ball, and the entries are 7-2 Carlton's way as well. But as Duck mentioned, they've been very efficient.
7 times inside 50 for 5 goals.
I haven't heard a crowd this loud since Richmond played GWS here, and it was 90,000 Richmond supporters in that first final they played.
Well, Robbo, Bob Jane T. Marks.
Yeah, Mackay's come straight off the ground into the rooms, and I complain. You kick a goal, you're not going to take him off, so obviously there's some trouble there. Doctor down with him in the rooms with an eye.
Yeah, it was Curnow in the celebrations on the Harvey Norman replay.
Yes.
He's put his right arm into his left eye, his right hand.
They got him in the eye, Ross.
What you'll do to keep your goal kicking, man.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Blues win the centre clearance again. Centre field, inside 50. Fisher half the contest. Cripps is lurking. Look at him just take down 3 of them. Sweeps the handball. O'Brien wants to wheel, get back on his left. Pulls the kicking board. Great work to Goey. That was almost a certain mark to Setterfield. De Goey just got a fist in and causes the ball up. 45 out from the Blues goal.
Well, as good as Howe is as a roll-off defender, he's been beaten Curnow one-on-one, and then Mackay, who are big men, no disgrace, but just shows if you can isolate them.
Setterfield, another clearance win to the Blues. Doesn't go far though. Crisp feels the pressure, just threw it on the boot. Jamie Elliott, an important tap down to McCreary, who wants to go, takes 2 bounces, he's got some wheels, not even Adam Side can chase him down. 3 bounces, runs to 45, squares it up, couldn't find Lipinski. Well done, Blues. And they get out of trouble again with Williams.
They can pinball it back the other way. Williams looking for Silvani. The ball went out the back. Does it stay in for Fisher? It does. Fisher on the run. He's got players inside. Curnow's one of them. Curnow marks it at the 50.
He's got the distance.
End-to-end football.
Have a shot.
Well, McCleary had Ginnivan coming back to his leg, just like the first quarter. Just should have kicked it to him.
Sometimes that extra bounce, what happened is Carlton, because of the extra bounce, Carlton actually got back defensively, back inside 50 with McCreary.
100%, and he tried the outside of the right foot.
Just signed a big deal. 6 years. He's a big-time player. 55 out, Curnow. 3 for 1 behind.
And the Collingwood mids, Stu, how they going? Pendlebury, Dacos, Cripps. Looks like they're not getting much ball.
Yeah, you're all over it, Ross. Pendlebury only 3, Nick Dacos 2, and Crisp also with 2.
48 plays 37. Blues lead by 11.
None of the mids can get their hand on the footy for the Pies.
Who can they put in there? Give Elliott a run. Give him a burst. Maybe Nick Dacos. What do you think, Joey?
Maynard, big pack of players. Chera, they win the ground ball again, the Blues. Tackle. Maybe Maynard. There's not too many options when you look around. Jamie Elliott can.
Elliott's got a bit of history. I'd put him in, give him a run, put the goey forward more.
Maybe McCreary for 5 minutes just to throw his weight around. Again, the Blues win the clearance. Silvani, they're streaming out the front. Setterfield goes to the matchup. Charlie Curnow and Moore. Well done, Darcy Moore. Curnow might be there. Jesse Motloff's been dangerous. He's going to step on the left. They got another one. The Blues have kicked 6 in a row in this third term. And they've turned this game on its head. Pies fans are stunned. Blues fans are going mad.
Well, I was just thinking, Joey, we had Selwood on, the midfield coach for the Pies pre-game, and he spoke about last week, we got inside too much, we won it. They've overcorrected. They're all set up on the outside, but they're not touching it. You've got to get in and win it.
Plus 40 for contested possessions over the game. Plus 19, Joey, in this quarter. Contested possessions in this quarter, plus 19.
And ground ball. That's the thing. You can sit on the outside, but you've got to get in and win it.
What's the contested ball all up?
Plus 40, as Doug said.
40.
Ground ball 23-7 this quarter. Loose ball 14-1 in favour of the Blues as well.
Some things haven't changed, Joey. I hear all the terms, outside balance. You've got to get in and win it and go forward.
Mackay back on, starting on the wing. The Blue Baggers are lining up the G on a Sunday afternoon. 90,000 people in the house and they lead by 17. Elliott, they heard you, Ross. He's gone into the midfield but turns it over to Williams. Centre half back, Chera. He's been important. From centre half back to half forward. Silvani got over his head. The chase is on. Trying to get it out of bounds was Howe. He couldn't do it. Silvani then took it out of bounds with the help of side bottom of the boundary throw in.
And maybe even side bottom inside.
Williams has been good.
Been really good, but he's been protected by the midfield and their dominance and entry dominance, really, haven't they?
So boundary throw in as Michael Voss watches on. He can feel the finals performance coming up. 17 points in front, quarter and a half to go. Throw it in again.
That was never going to work, was it?
What's that?
He was going to, Paddy Cripps then, going to try and take it from 2 foot above his head onto his boot within an inch of the boundary.
And it'll be a great result for Fremantle, Joey. If the Pies get beaten, they hang on to 4th.
Boundary throw in, 55 out. Paddy Cripps, irrepressible at the moment. Bangs it back inside forward 50. Motlop can't mark it. Front of the pack was Silvani. Cottrell with an opportunity. Left foot snap. Can he bring it back far enough? He can't. Through for one behind. 18-point lead. 55 plays 37 in favour of the Blues. Still 7 minutes 14 to go in this third term. Blues have already kicked 6.
What are Cripps' numbers, Stu? Red Z Lending.
Patrick Cripps, he's just racked up clearance number 11 along with his 23 touches.
Well, they can't get their hands on the ball, the Pies. 26 ground ball to 8 is an annihilation.
They are smacking them all over the ground. Kick in long and wide. Seal, side bottom. Handballs back to Dacos. Cameron had plenty of time and space, but he's just felt the perceived pressure. Just threw it on the boot. Elliott again just tried to knock it forward. Look at Zach Williams. Wins the ball back, goes inside 50. Nakai was behind, did well to bring it to ground. Didn't allow Howe to take the intercept mark. But the Pies mop up. Darcy Moore, beautiful long kick. Relieving kick and finds Lipinski. And he has Myercheck on a long lead. So they get an opportunity here to go forward. Pies, not too many times in this quarter. Although they kicked to Crisp. Wiedering left his man, got across and got it out of bounds. And the Blues faithful give him a round of applause. They sense what's coming here. They lead by 18 points after trailing by 19 at half-time, the Blues. 25 minutes has just ticked over third term. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Gee, Williams missed Martin in the middle of the ground as well, all on his own boundary throw in. 55 out from the Pies goal. Pendlebury handballs it back. Nick Dacos from the 50. Handball to Ginnivan. Ginnivan on the left from 45. Can he get one back? Yes, he can. Against the run of play, Ginnivan gets his third. Gee, he's a good player.
Oh, his ability to finish, Brownie. Well, that's 2 opportunities, 2 goals today. That's why it just doesn't make sense why McCleary just wouldn't kick it to him in his vision. An easy goal, but you know, there's a lot of noise around him, but you know, when he has to, he delivers on the finish.
8:7:55, plays 6:7:43, 12-point lead to the Blues.
He doesn't get a lot of it, but what he gets, and when he gets it, and if he has a little bit of time and space like he had there, he nails him.
That's a good finish on the left boot from 45.
Let's talk about what's changed in the game. The Carlton key forwards and intercept marks against them. What's happened first half, second half, Drew?
Yeah, Ross, in the first half, Collingwood took 7 intercept marks inside their D50. The AFL averages 6 per game. This term, they haven't taken any.
And what are the Blues taking inside 50 this quarter?
Triple M Red Z, they've taken 4.
Holding, Carlton.
Free kick again. A lot of free kicks being paid around these stoppages. Centre bounce going to go to Chera. And he's going to wheel, run his 15 and drive it to about 30 out. Mackay's in front again. Martin at ground level. If they're not marking it, they're winning the crumbs. Cripps sweeps a handball to Curnow. Off one step.
Bang.
Oh, you betcha. Charlie's starting to come to the party. He's got another one. And the Blues get the quick response. 9-7-61. The Pies 6-7-43. Triple M beat trade scoreboard.
Gee whiz, their efficiency inside 50. What is it? 13 entries for 7 goals too.
Yep.
What's that? 65% or something?
Yeah, the AFL average is only 43. Yep.
But now the predictability, you say they're winning at a ground level inside 50 because they know they're going to get a contest now. It's falling in familiar spots where you want it. Mackay, Curnow, I mean, just absolutely brilliant. That's what he's capable of. Look at that, off a couple of steps to Harvey Norman. He's almost going backwards, took a step forward to balance himself, and then that hard, low kick.
Maynard's gone into the centre bounce.
Twice the Coleman medalist stuck for McDonald's Room Hot Water, Triple M box footy.
Hold.
Paddy Cripps will get a free kick. Carlton, advantage paid. Docking inside forward 50. They're going to bring it all the way back.
Shocking call from the outer zone umpire.
That's advantage. Geez, they paid an advantage last night. That was just
So they have to bring it all the way back to the centre. When Mackay had it in the forward 50. So Setterfield loads up. Can the Blues get it back anyway? Front of the pack. Noble, tackle to the ground. Ball picked up. Motlop. Then he laid the tackle. With the ball up.
Look at them lining up front and square now. Hey? They're just, there's 4 or 5 of them there.
Still can't believe that advantage wasn't paid. Umpire elevates the footy. Martin out of the pack. Left foot snap. Smothered off the boot. Tapped it back out. Doherty. Cottrell. Setterfield wants his right foot. High ball into the pocket. Curnow's back there. Free kick, not paid by the umpire. Ball hits the ground level. Collingwood under pressure, enormous pressure. Motlop, Mackay, they've taken a flamethrower. No, he's missed it.
Well, we spoke
to the right.
We spoke about Doherty getting it in congestion, hacking it forward. Now he's getting it out on the spread. He's getting it in space. He's having entries. He's having clearances. Massive impact in this game.
9-8-62 Carlton. 6-7-43 Collingwood.
So I'm just looking to the Harvey Norman. I've seen free kicks paid for less than that. Well, Charlie Curnow got taken to ground.
Gee, the smalls have been good inside 50 for the Blues too. Motlop's having a bit of a quarter. Cripps still getting to the front of the pack.
That's because it's coming to ground, Joey.
Yep. They are absolutely dominating this third term, the Blues.
And you went to Cripps about standing up this moment, taking him, and he's certainly after quarter time, he's been enormous in there, carrying him on his back.
He's leading from the front, Paddy Cripps. He's never played in a final. How desperately does he want to do this? Dominating. Silvani in the ruck against Darcy Cameron. Pendlebury just gets it about 15 metres forward. Elliott looking around for support. Doherty just a little bit high on Josh Dacos. And the Pies will get the free kick. Pies will just keep coming with that. Dacos just wheels and goes. Doesn't even look what's up ahead. Just kicks to his forwards. And Myercheck takes a strong contested mark behind Lewis Young. And he'll try and go back from 55.
Hasn't had his kicking boots on today, Myercheck.
Right on his distance.
Well, I think once he went off that compression to the neck, he just hasn't done much for the rest of the day, has he?
They trail by 19 points, the Pies. They led by 19 at half time. Myercheck from 52. Gee, it's a good kick. Oh, just missed. Struck it beautifully. through from behind. So it's 18 points the margin, 6-8 to 9-8. 4 minutes left in this third term. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Of course, catch a big feed this game day too at McDonald's with a quarter pounder range.
7 goals to 1 in this term in favour of the Blues. Sard does the kicking out. Noof goes around the crowd. Cox couldn't take it. Curnow and Mackay both at half back. So when they win the footy and kick it forward, the only man there was going to be Darcy Moore, and pumps it back inside forward 50. Pulled it at the back. Sard. Umpire called play on, like the Collingwood player was acting for the free kick, so it probably should have been a free kick the other way. Noble tracks the footy, point of the square at half forward. Chera's been good. He's tackled to the ground. At centre half forward for Collingwood, will have a ball up.
Just with Carlton's ground ball, so in the first half they only won 11 ground ball inside their attacking 50. In this quarter alone, they've won 8. So 60% of the time this term, opposed to only 38 in the first half.
3 minutes 31 before three-quarter time. Motlop.
Collingwood.
Collingwood to get a free kick. Nick Dacos will take it.
Thank you. Stand there.
Can he hit a target? Nick Dacos. A lot of players ahead of him. He goes into the pocket. O'Brien will need to sit underneath it. He did okay, and he get a free kick. Chopping of the arms, everything going Carlton's way.
Well done to Lockie O'Brien. It's been a bit of a knock on him, but that was terrific. Stood his ground, playing on the wing.
Moving on.
2:55 left in this third term. Mackay's got the run and jump of this. Should take an easy mark in the end, uncontested. Pies defenders struggling to hold them at the moment. He goes inboard to Sard. Got Blues running everywhere, just has to pick the right option. Instead he goes back to Mackay.
16 intercept marks Collingwood took in the first half. 2 have taken.
Well, anyone watching this opposition coaches, you know what? Don't give them the +1. Tease your 6 forwards. Back yourself into the clearance, and you're taking this. It looks like this system off them.
Dominated the air this quarter. The Blues. Lockie O'Brien went to Cripps in a one-on-one with Maynard. Who looks like he's now gone to Paddy Cripps to try and slow the champ down. He's led from the front.
Paddy Cripps' numbers, Ash?
24 disposals, 11 clearances.
Plus 23 contested ball this quarter. This quarter. What is it for the game?
31 plus 16 plus 47.
Plus 47. Yeah. Ross, that's world record pace. Your favourite saying.
Well, you'll be disappointed. You'll be disappointed. Speaking overcorrect, we'll 2 inside. Let's get our outside balance. And players are so coachable, they sit out there. But let's not take anything away from Carlton's makeshift midfield, if we're honest. Yeah. They've been exceptional in there.
They lead by 18 points. No Sam Walsh. Coming out of that stoppage was Maynard. Good kick to half forward. Free kick goes to the Blues.
He's been outstanding, Lewis Young, today, as Joey called earlier. Right from the first quarter when everyone else was floundering around him.
He's had a pretty good year, Lewis Young. He's been getting better and better all season.
Minute 45. So Doherty, pretty much on centre wing. Hoofs the ball towards the 50. Mackay has a run and jump at it. Can't mark it. Martin at the front and centre. They've been there all quarter. Cripps to O'Brien. Loads up inside forward 50. The one-on-one in the goal square. Getting back with Pye numbers. And the ball, can it be kept in? Out of bounds. So the boundary throw in, deep in the pocket for the Blues. They lead by 18 points, 9-8-62. Collingwood 6-8-44, 7 goals to 1 in the third term so far.
What a story Doherty is. If you think the challenge he has, he's playing AFL midfield, running 95,000 and delivering.
Cox was able to move Mackay off the contest, but the smother kept the ball inside 50. Chris burst away and then good kick, hit McCreary. And his teammates just tell him to slow it down. Although they only know one way, the Pies, so McCreary wanted to get it moving. Noble, great work again, Lockie O'Brien, not to give away the free kick. And got the ball out of bounds. The late inclusion for Sam Walsh, who's not playing in this game. And it's Setterfield, Doherty getting that done in the midfield.
Well, he's going to have a sleepless night, Scotty Selwood. They've kicked 9 goals, 3 from stoppages to Collingwood's 1 goal, 2.
Cox. Setterfield again with another clearance. Absolutely dominating him in there. Forwards are having a field day. Curnow came out, couldn't take the mark. Now Nick Dacos will try and create something. Even he coughs it up. That handball's a poor one. Sarding board goes to Cottrell inside 50. Here's a one-on-one. Mackay and Howe. Motlop, he's been lively. The youngsters kicked another one.
Oh, he's been good all day, Joey.
Jesse Motlop. He's emerging as a young star. And the Blues have now got 10 on the board. 10-8, 68. Collingwood 6-8, 44. It's a 4-goal margin. 26 seconds left in this third term. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, it's not a puzzle. I mean, he's now just living at the feet of the big guys. He was there, by the way, for the first half. It was just wasn't coming to the ground.
You got to bring it to the ground.
You've got to bring it down to the ground, and the importance of that really competing the right way. It's falling right at his feet. It's not being spoiled, 10, 15 metres away towards the boundary.
You would call them soft drops, wouldn't you?
Soft drop, yep.
And for the Blues, it's their best quarter against the Magpies since round 7, 2014, 8 years.
And even though the Collingwood defenders fought, I think it was Howe, because Mackay's so tall. Yeah. They just got to lash away at an arm, and he punched that back into the corridor. Smaller forward, you control the punch, get it wide.
For McDonald's hot water, Triple M Rocks footy, 26 seconds to go before three-quarter time, and what's been a quarter owned by the Blues, 8 goals to 2. They trail by 19, they now lead by 24, but the Pies might have the last crack at it to go inside forward 50. Myercheck, Elliott dropped the mark, ground level, trying to pick the footy up was Elliott. Hoskin Elliott was there too. Every Elliott was in there. We'll have a ball up, down to 5 seconds. They need a tap and a quick kick out of the pack to score. Can the Blues hold on for 5 seconds? Umpire elevates it. Cox. Ball bobs away, and that'll be three-quarter time. What a quarter of football from the Carlton Footy Club. They've wound back the clock with that one. 10-8, 68. Collingwood 6-8, 44. Up after the break, Ross Lyon and Wayne Carey will take you through it, tell you exactly how they did it. They lead by 24 points. McDonald's Areem Hot Water, Triple M, Rocks Footy at the G.
That quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon, making every tradie's job easier.
For McDonald's,
Triple M Rocks Footy.
catch a big feed this game day with the Quarter Pounder range, only at Macca's.
Hi, it's Marty Sheargold. Right now, Triple M Rocks Footy, and we're back on tomorrow, and at 8:30 we'll wrap up the round with Scott Pendlebury.
Nick Revolt with us.
What have you got memorabilia-wise?
Oh, I've kept every jumper I've ever played in.
336 jumpers?
Well, you wear one for the year.
Is that a St Kilda thing?
You don't get a new one every week.
Are the mums still washing the jumpers?
Yeah, this is professional football.
The Marty Sheargold Show. Back tomorrow at 6 on Melbourne's 105.1 Triple M.
Don't have all day to spend on one job? Kango's range of power tool accessories are made to get it done fast. Give your power tools a new gear and cut through the toughest materials with Kango grinder discs, saw blades and hole saws. When you need accessories that go the distance, choose Kango. Kango. Toughen up your power tools. Look for the yellow target next time you visit the Bunnings tool shop.
Feel closer to the action with Foxtel's 4K Ultra HD. Watching sport has never looked so good. 4K Ultra HD, the best way to watch the NRL, AFL and F1. Only available on Foxtel.
Are you trying to navigate increased business costs, supply chain issues and staff shortages? The Victorian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, in partnership with the Victorian Government, is here to help. To support you and your business, we're offering free one-on-one mentoring. Over 4 sessions, an industry leader will work with you to help your business survive and thrive. Be quick. Sign up now for free business mentoring. Visit victorianchamber.com.au/mentoring.
The Haval Jolion is a smart SUV. The design is sharp and the technology genius. But the really smart feature is the driver. Someone savvy enough to demand more and get it. Haval Jolion. Smart move.
Searching for a new place? CommBank could have a housewarming gift for you. Get a free NBN plan for 3 years from More when you apply for a conditionally pre-approved home loan before you find your place and settle by 31 December 2022. Now that's a reason to celebrate. Search CommBank Housewarming to check if you're eligible. Offer applies to the More XL Speed Boost NBN plan and minimum home loan of $250,000. Conditions, fees and charges apply.
A ticket to the cricket? How's that? There's nothing like a day at the cricket with Dad.
For the first time ever, Australia will host 6 countries in one massive season. Treat Dad to the perfect day out this Father's Day. Search Cricket Tickets for more information.
Buying a John Deere excavator was the best decision we've made for reliability and serviceability.
The hydraulics are smooth, fast and powerful.
Productivity is at an all-time high.
John Deere Series 2 mid-sized excavators raise the bar on site. Custom built and designed for the brutal Aussie conditions, it's the toughest thing on the land. Visit rdoequipment.com.au/built to build to hear more from our customers or book a demo today.
It's value the Australian way at Coles with great fresh specials this week. Like juicy strawberries, 100% Aussie grown and just $2.80 for a 250 gram punnet. This week at Coles. Offer ends Thursday.
Triple M rocks footy. This quarter for Foxtel. 4K Ultra HD. The best way to watch AFL. Only available on Foxtel.
What an unbelievable quarter of football, the MCG by Carlton. They kicked 8 goals to 1. They trailed by 19 at half time. They now lead by 24 points, 10-8, 68 to 6-8, 44. Let's get down to the boundaries of Bob Jane Team Arts, Robbo.
Well, they should poke Harry Mackay in the eye a lot more often. What an amazing quarter that was. Fingerprints of Michael Voss written all over Carlton then. Desperation, unbelievable, crowd going bonkers. I just noticed too that Howe's just had heavy strapping on the left side. He plays with his socks down. He's pulled his sock up. So they're trying to hide something, and a big warm-up for Ollie Henry. So I'd expect the med sub to be injected into this last term for Collingwood.
Ash, break it down. That third term, the Blues kicked 8 goals to 1. Triple M Red Z lending stats. How did they do it?
Super efficient as a starting point, 16 entries, but they kicked 8 goals, 3. Magpies only winning inside 9 times for 1 goal, 2. And there's the clearances, only +2 in clearances in that third quarter. They kicked 6 goals, 2, 38 from stoppages. Teams averaged 32 for an entire game. The top 3 ranked players were Chera, Doherty and Curnow.
You got the best in the business in the back row for Triple MC Bus. Super special comments, Duck and Ross.
Oh, what can you say? That was just a domination of Collingwood in that third term, and everything that they did wrong in the first half, they were able to turn around. And we talk about the half-time break and what it can mean when you know that the effort's there, but just some basic fundamental things are falling down. And you correct them, Joey. It just goes to show they've come out and they can correct them.
Well, they righted the ship during the second quarter with the equal numbers. But you were right. Even though they were winning contested ball in the end, they were fumbling and dropping. All of a sudden, they were clean and they were hard.
Fourth quarter underway. Ross, what do we know about the Pies?
Well, we know you've got to play the minutes. They're capable of big quarter, and you just hope it hasn't taken too much out of Carlton come from behind.
They've got nothing to lose here, the Pies. We know they'll keep coming in the fourth quarter for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, and they win the first centre clearance. Maynard in there again. It was a grubby little kick, but it might work for Lipinski. Gives it to Ginnivan. This is the man looking most likely around the body for number 4. Touched on the goal line. Well done, Lewis Young. Nice start by the Pies, though. They get the first behind of the fourth quarter there, 6-9, 45. Strap yourselves in, boys. This is going to be some hell of a fourth quarter.
And there
they trail by 23 points.
There it was early, Joey, wasn't it? The Pies throwing a punch.
McGovern with the ball to do the kicking in. Commentary side, Curnow with the flyer. Fisted to the front of the pack, Lipinski. He was turned around in the tackle, couldn't quite get his kick to it. Cripps got it to centre wing. Nice work by Durden. Has a bounce. Got some space. Needs to use it and does. Curnow. Mackay couldn't mark it. And a free kick going to go to Collingwood and we'll bring the ball back. The umpire's calling play on. He's still calling play on. Paddy Cripps picks it up. Underground handball. Missed the target, Lipinski. Lipinski's handball. Out towards Crisp. Another one to Dacos. That's Nick and he gives it to Josh.
Oh, Josh! Just didn't see Mitch McGovern coming.
Well done, McGovern.
Nailed him in a tackle. Absolutely ran him down from behind.
Not known.
Well, that's not a signature move for McGovern, is it?
No, that's superb. He's buying in.
It's the new and improved Mitch McGovern duck. And he goes wide to Fisher, who goes to Curnow. Couldn't quite take the mark in the pocket. Collingwood, Pendlebury sweeps a forward handball. Lipinski didn't know what to do with it. The Blues, they're up for the fight. Fisher goes into the pocket. Should be a free kick to Harry Mackay. He was held. Gee whiz, he was held.
Talk about arms around.
My God, I'll tell you who's not handling the occasion. I reckon that's the umpires today.
Yeah, they've been a little bit jittery, Joey.
They have.
We don't like to talk about them, but
He's a ruck. Just a couple of sort of confusing moments from the umpires.
They won't be looking forward to their review on Monday, Joey.
That advantage was a disadvantage for the Pies from that free kick. Nick Dacos clean with the clearance. Handball's a bit sharp for Chris, though. Harry Mackay couldn't take it cleanly. Darcy Cameron just threw it on the boot. And Mitch McGovern will swallow this up, 60 out.
McGovern has got Sard to his right. Elects not to go there as McCreary blocks off the exit into the pocket, in the front of the pack. Paddy Cripps. Going to be a block. Free kick against. Paddy Cripps hasn't realised it yet. But a free kick will go back to Collingwood.
Stand.
And Crispin's gone the half back for the Pies. I can't pick up the midfield change, but we'll have a look.
So Cameron releases the pressure. Ball got out the back of the pack and Lipinski picked it up. Maynard just wanted area. He wanted some ground and he went long looking for Myercheck, who inched the ball backwards and it goes out of bounds in the end. Even though he's kicked it backwards, the umpires pinged him for deliberate.
So it's going to be a free kick to Marchbank. Just back of the wing. Going to go long down the line. Pitnet and Cameron. Oh, he's went hard. Cripps has been in everything. Shovels a handball to Big Pitnet, who's still got those concrete boots. He tries to get over to the footy. He only had to move a metre. And in the end, he got a handball received from Fisher. High ball inside 50. This is where they were so dominant, the Blues. Again, they win a ground ball. Look at Cripps. Takes on 4 of them. And then Owies throws it on the boot. And Charlie Curnow's going to snap it. Play on. Oh, and he rushed it.
He did.
A rush of blood from Charlie Curnow. He didn't need to take that little time. And it's back to an even 24 points. 10-9, 69, 6-9, 45. Everyone's feeling the pressure. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
You want him to take his whole 30 there.
Darcy Moore looks for Darcy Cameron, but the only man there coming through was Lewis Young. Intercept mark.
Young and Marchbank have been good, haven't they?
He's good. The kick, bit of ill-directed opportunity though, because Collingwood dropped it to the ground and we'll have a ball up.
We spoke about the selection of Pitney early in the piece, and we spoke about DeConey coming in. We know he's had clearances. What are the hit-outs? Because the Blues are scoring from stoppage, so it seems to be vindicated, True.
Yeah, hit-outs. He's had 16, but 50% to advantage. Cox had 20.
Right foot snap. They're peppering the goals, Carlton.
How many to advantage?
But only 7 to advantage for Cox.
10-10, 70, play 6-9, 45, 25-point lead in favour of Carlton. I know we say it a lot, but this first goal is huge.
Darcy Moore just played on straight down the corridor. Didn't have a lot to go to. If I'm Michael Voss on the bench, I am protecting the corridor at all costs in this fourth quarter. Here they go. DeGoey in the corridor. Has McCreary in a bit of space out wide. Pies charging forward. Ash Johnson wants it deep. Kick goes in that direction. He's going to get a run and jump at it. He was blocked out of the contest. He was blocked. And he's going to get the free kick. 15 metres out. 45-degree angle.
I've just seen the Harvey Norman at the other end, the one that Cripps marked it, and it got paid for a block against Silvani. Quaynor pushed Silvani. Silvani never blocked. That decision was wrong.
I half caught that. Cripps was on his own. It looked like he took an uncontested mark, really.
So Ash Johnson kicked the goal of the match so far with a check side. Down this end of the ground in the second quarter. They need this, the first of the fourth. From only a slight angle. Oh, he kicks it. Cool as a cucumber, this kid. He's got 2. Ginnivan's got 3. They've got 5 of their 7. And they get back within 19 points. 7-9-51. Carlton 10-10-70. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard. Choice Hotels around the grounds. The other game at Marvel Stadium.
Looking good for Sydney. They're out to a 23-point lead over St Kilda deep into the second quarter.
But to Duck's point with Curnow, you don't want to ice the game because clearly you can't do that. But give your teammates an opportunity. Take your 30 seconds. You've got a lead. Collingwood want a chaotic, just up-tempo all day. So when you get a couple of moments to back off, take them.
Straight back. So Collingwood get the all-important first goal.
So it is Maynard still in the centre square bounce with Cripps on half-back front.
There we go. For McDonald's Remote Water, built tough for Aussie conditions when it comes to water heating. Ask your plumber to install a room. Out of the middle goes Doherty. Long ball. Should be a free kick. Not picked up by the umpire. Clear tug of the jumper. Ball got out to Durden, who's been important in this last quarter. He can't pick it up. Cottrell. Well, the ball up. 55 out, and listen to the Blues fans go berserk.
Right here, Jordan. Let it go. Thank you. Who's up? Darcy. Mark.
Umpire balls it up. Paddy Cripps centres the footy. Motlop. But Murphy at the front of the pack takes a very good mark and a safe mark.
And they needed that mark. And they can try and build up from deep in the back pocket.
Geez, Harry Mackay's been stiff the last couple of contests.
Noble pulls a kick for side bottom. It'll get to him on the bounce. Sandball over the top. Lipinski. They're going to take some risks now. Here's Howe charging off half-back. Pokes it over the top. McCreary, but it was over his head. Well read by Wiedering. And he comes inboard to Setterfield.
Outside 5.
Right on centre wing. Members side. He has two players forward of the ball. It's Mackay or Curnow. And it's Harry Mackay who takes the mark. 52 metres out. Handball's over to O'Brien. He's going to launch from 50. Motlop's in the square, but he's got a couple of big Magpies bearing down, and they put that through from behind.
It's a strange decision by Mackay.
Yeah, not necessary.
How about O'Brien? You got Cripps at the top of the square. Just put it to the captain, who's on fire and 6'5".
20-point lead to the Blues. 71-51 early stages, fourth quarter. 4K Ultra HD, the best way to watch AFL. Only available on Foxtel. Blues have to win to play finals.
You feel like the Pies have got something left in them, though. They're 20 points down, but you know they're going to come. They always come. And Johnson at half-back receives from McCreary.
Outside 5.
McCreary runs past for the handball. Didn't get it. Johnson now. He'll look for Elliott. The lead from Elliott. Stockers with him. Ball got over the back. Lewis Young, underground handball. O'Brien to half forward. Edged under the footy was Mackay, and Jeremy Howe took a very good mark. Used his body nice. So Jeremy Howe, a couple of bus stop leads ahead of him. And he just kicks it blindly straight back to Lewis Young.
The Pies forwards all wanted it at centre half forward, but Mackay just put enough pressure on to skew it off the side of the boot.
Move out.
And Doherty's got it now at half back. They're just playing conservative here, the Blues. They don't want to be too conservative, but they don't need to do anything reckless. And that kick's not going to help. Straight down the throat of Johnny Noble. Right on centre wing.
Well, just a bit of lull in the game, isn't it? A couple of turnovers back and forth.
And you just sense the Blues are just going to play conservative and the Pies are going to keep coming. Sets up for one hell of a finish. 20-point margin. Look at Noble. He's going to kick it straight to centre half forward. No long down the line this quarter. They're queuing up front and square, the Pies. Penderbury was there. Setterfield won it, but he couldn't get the kick away. Maynard taking in a tackle.
Geez, you think Cripps, his contested ball numbers are huge today? He'll be up around his PB or something, true, wouldn't it?
Yeah, spot on, Ross. 24 contested ball. His PB is 25. The most contested ball for Collingwood is Penderbury with 9.
Well, that's 25 for Cripps. He just got one away. Centre half forward for the Pies. DeGoey went through with his head.
Just feel like
a ball up.
Time for DeGoey. Put him forward. He's not doing a lot midfield the last couple of quarters. Put him deep forward. Kick a couple of goals.
45 out from the Pies goal. Cox did the ruck work. They inched forward. Opportunity for Johnson. Went without the footy. Zach Williams turned it around with a snap towards centre wing. Come off the knee of Curnow. Pies opportunity. Noble lowers the eyes. Good kick to Cox. And Cox marks it. And he's very good at this part of the game. 30 metres directly in front. And for the Pies, back to back to get it to 14 points.
Well, this will test his nerve, won't it? It's a massive kick in the context of the game and the season.
Got a very good action, Mason Cox.
He's actually 4 goals, 7 this year from set shots.
Doesn't get a lot of opportunities.
So he's
big moment in front of 90,000 people. Mason Cox keeps it low and keeps it good. Pies get 2 in a row. And he struts around like duck. 14 points in at 71-57. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard, 4K Ultra HD. The best way to watch AFL, only available at Foxtel.
It's surprising, isn't it? So he's now 5-7 from set shots this year, because you're right, he's still going at 66% over his whole career, but just been a little bit off this year. That's a really nice finish from him. And, well, as we've kept saying, this is far from over, with still 11 and a half minutes to go.
Everyone at the ground senses what's coming, don't they?
Yeah.
The players all know it on the field. Collingwood know they're going to keep coming. The Blues know they're going to keep coming. 11 minutes 39 on the clock. There's the crowd. They're roaring. They're the Pies supporters. They know what's coming. Silvani and Cox. Cripps trying to get his 26th contested possession. De Goey in the centre bounce. Maynard's gone in there. Big ball to be won. Maynard on hands and knees. Nobody could win it. Secondary stoppage.
Just Triple M Red Z. So in this quarter, Collingwood only down in contested, 2 down in contested ball, but they've broken even in clearances.
Free kick's going to be paid against Silvani for a block. Pendlebury takes the advantage. De Goey, he's used it well today. Just puts it into the path of Elliott on the bounce. Tried to bounce off the Stocker tackle. Well done, Cottrell. Sard wasn't ready for the handball. Then just kicks it off the ground. Shearer had a good first quarter. Needs to lift for his side in this last. Moore attacked the footy. Beat Mackay to it. Sweeps a handball in board. It's in the safe hands of Pendlebury. Takes his time. Pops it into the pocket. No one was home. And the ball goes out of bounds. 30 metres around from the Pies goal. They trail by 14 points. 10 minutes 50 left on the clock. Top 4 spot on the line for the Pies. Top 8 spot on the line for the Blues.
So boundary throw in. Collingwood repeat inside 50 entries. Cox but Sard clears the area for the Blues. And just for the moment they breathe a sigh of relief. Mackay wanted a free kick again. Couldn't get it. Overrunning it was Quainer. Picking the footy up was Noble. Got one too high. Mackay can't believe it. So Noble on centre wing. He looks up and he's got some players in the middle. Does he square it up? He doesn't. He pumps it back inside forward 50. Johnson can't mark it. The Blues clear the area again. They keep pumping it out. It keeps coming back in. But on this occasion, they might get it. Martin, Mackay, handball to Curnow. But when Mackay and Curnow handball to each other, they got no one forward. And the Blues just chip it around and they finally get the ball to Cottrell.
Have the last 6 inside 50s, Collingwood.
And this is the risk for Carlton when Silvani versus Cox in these ruck contests. That height advantage late in the game's a lot of pressure on him.
Cottrell on centre wing and he chipped the ball to Chera. They need to get the big fellow with the cement boots back on, Ross. They got a half forward. That's a big mark by Curnow. That's as good contested mark down the line as you get. It just breaks it open.
That's his 5th contested mark, isn't it, Chu?
Yes.
Charlie Curnow.
Spot on.
He's played big and he's going to go to who's played even bigger. Paddy Cripps into the pocket. Could have been a free kick for an arm chop.
Great set play by the Blues. Isolate Cripps 30 metres out from goal, just in that little pocket.
He had his right arm yanked from Quaynor. 32 disposals for Cripps, an equal PB, 25 of those contested. And he's still got 9 minutes, the most important 9 minutes of his footy career. Quick kick out of that pack for the Pies, goes forward, but no, Carlton got the numbers. Sard, Doherty work together. They feed it back to Wiedering, who off one step will go inside 50. Cox, he did this last time they played, remember? Couldn't quite take the mark. Silvani did well to win the ball, and then goes laterally. O'Brien, he's been paid the mark.
She's unlucky, Cox, not to have that paid, wouldn't he?
He should have got a free kick too, Cox. And Lockie O'Brien will go back, man on the mark, 52 metres out. O'Brien's pretending he's going to have a shot. He might just pull it into the pocket. No, he keeps backing himself. He's going to go for home. He missed. He's had a few pings. 72 to 57. 15-point margin. 8 minutes 34 left on the clock. Crowd, every single one of them are biting their fingernails.
Just a good game of footy.
Well, they haven't been let down, have they? The 95,000. The game's in great shape.
Absolutely, Ross. Into the middle of the ground. Williams underneath it. Elected not to go for it. Silvani. He lost it in the tackle. Sard chipping sideways ball to O'Brien. Doherty splits for him. He goes to Doherty now. Marks it on centre wing.
And that's that wing roll, O'Brien. That's when you keep your width and you're an uncontested mark, outlet mark.
Blues just taking their time with the footy at the moment. Wouldn't be slowing it down too much yet. There's still a long way to go in this one. Mackay reaches over the top and marks it on the 50. And the umpire will bring Darcy Moore back a couple.
Yeah, this will take the whole 30 now.
So he's right on the boundary. Darcy Moore on the 50. He'd have to kick it every bit of 55 from outside the paint.
How many contested marks for him today, Two-Man?
He's taken 3 and Curnow an equal PB with 5. So the contested marks in the front half, Carlton have racked up 9, Collingwood only 3.
This would be massive. It's not going to be anything. He's kicked it through for one behind in the end. Bit of an anti-climax, and the Blues continue to miss.
Well, that was Elliott's spot, wasn't it, Duck? It looked identical.
73 plays 57.
More identical than the one Joey said.
7 minutes 28 to go on the Foxtel scoreboard.
Up the other end of the ground in the corridor.
Darcy Moore takes the mark and goes. He just wheels and goes, tries to get it out the back to Ash Johnson, but this Blues defence, they're resolute today. Marchbank it is with the fist, gets it out of bounds. 7:18 left on the clock.
Well, there's big raps on Marchbank, isn't it? It's great to see him delivering with his body and in a big game today.
Pies need 3 goals in 7 minutes if they're going to snatch this one and finish in the top 4. Sydney are going to win at Marvel Stadium, so they will be in the top 4. Doherty shovels it forward. McCreery under pressure from Chera. Howe charges through, but Chera wasn't going to let him go. Strong tackle. Curnow kicks the grass inside 50. Quaynor's going to lead the race, but he's got Fisher and Mackay bearing down. Got the handball to Darcy Moore. Had a fumble. Watch out here for Fisher. One-hand pickup, then a spin. Gets it to his best mate, Charlie, who goes for goal, and he misses again.
He's been everywhere, Curnow.
Charlie Curnow, what are his numbers? Just talk us through his shots at goal and his marks and everything else. They lead by 17 points.
Yeah, 14 disposals, 7 marks, 5 contested, but 2 goals, 5 today. And remember last week, Charlie Curnow kicked 1 goal, 4.
That's 3 goals, 9 in 2 weeks.
Yep. Pies bring it back in. That's good mathematics, Joey. Well done, mate. Nick Dacos out of the defensive 50 to side bottom. Centre wing side bottom. Chips the ball into the middle of the ground. Lipinski got some space, gives it to Nick Dacos, who kept running, and then gave it to his brother Josh. Sweeps it wide to Quayner. Quayner, one way, then the other in the middle of the ground. Then Lex to go, looking for the fly of Johnson, and coming in from the side. A big mark by Elliott. Jamie Elliott brings one down from the heavens. And this to bring them within 2 kicks.
They raffled it with Johnson. They both launched.
Elliott's numbers today, Ash.
Triple M, Red's head. Jamie Elliott, 10 disposals, 4 marks, 1 behind.
Here to kick a goal. City in. Elliott 30 out. Just has to kick it. And does for the Pies. Big mark, big goal. Dacos involved again. And it tightens up, 74 plays 63, Triple M, Foxtel scoreboard.
We talked about corridor, Joey. That's exactly, as soon as side bottom took that mark as the release kick from defence, he brought it straight back.
That's everything corridor, all quarter. So they've been doing well protecting it, but as they get fatigued, when you're under pressure, you got to think at your best. What do they want? I've got to protect the corridor. I've got to slide up. I've got to close it off.
You look at the fear.
Oh, the Blues man.
Triple M,
have a look at them. I can see them
they're
praying.
Some of them are praying. Gifts for the best dad ever at Harvey Norman. Great deals, Father's Day in-store online, Harvey Norman. 5 minutes 42, and they are within 2 kicks. Plenty of time for the Pies. Can they do it again?
Bouncing.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water.
Come on, umpire.
Umpire didn't recall the bounce. Neither ruck could get to it. Chera wins the clearance. Goes to a one-on-one. Quaynor wins out.
He doesn't
Beat
lose
Burden. And he goes straight into the corridor to Goey. And now Lipinski's on. Gets the ball in the middle of the MCG.
Give it.
He ignored Quaynor the first time. Now went to him. Now to Josh Dacos. He normally uses it beautifully. Has Cox in the pocket. Gets to him on the bounce. Coxie taking his time. Got the handball to Pendlebury. It's the right man to have the ball. He spins and gives it to McCreery from 45 up against the boundary line. Oh no! McCreery's done it! McCreery's kicked a blinder. These kids are absolutely frothing on this occasion, and they are now back within 5 points. 10-9-69, Carlton 10-14-74. 5 minutes to go. What a kick from McCreery.
Well, this is what they're doing is not quite to the same level as Carlton did in that third term. So Collingwood have gone in 10 times inside forward 50 for 4 goals, 1. Carlton have gone in 13 for 6 points.
Well, let's go back to the Quayner mark. Talk about getting. If that ball goes to ground, Chera can get to
the contest.
Do it.
To Goey to close it down because there's no contest. The mids haven't got time to transition and find their men or block the corridor, and that opened it up.
As we know, Collingwood have won 8 games this season by 7 points or less. For McDonald's Rim Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. Collingwood have got the last 3. And out of the middle, the Blues go. Big Cement Boots gets it inside forward 50. Mackay can't mark it. No free kick.
They put the whistle away
in this last quarter. Nick Dacos off the side of the boot. Paddy Cripps, the Blues with Martin. Handball. O'Brien. You're going to play her out to Curnow. Well done by Maynard. Coming from the side, got out of bounds. That's as good a defence as you'll see.
Tell what, Harry Mackay has been very unlucky. Very unlucky.
What Cripps had this quarter, he's just not as influential as...
Although that contest was massive.
Yeah, huge.
Triple M Red said he's had 7 touches this quarter.
I'm kidding myself.
1 clearance.
88,287 have not left their seats.
I was 1,000 out.
Doherty, right on Duck. Doherty wins the clearance, goes inside 50.
I reckon I said 88.
I reckon I said 87. Record home and away crowd ever between these two sides. 88,287. Previously 88,181.
I can't believe Mackay not getting through.
He's been mauled in this fourth quarter. And the crowd, well, it's lived up to everything we hoped in the second last game of this home and away season. 4:20 on the clock. Blues lead by 5 points.
So the boundary throw in. Darcy Cameron will clear the area. O'Brien, been important this last quarter, marks it. On his chest, he chips the ball to Doherty. They inch closer to the 50. Doherty, 65 out. So they need to score, though, the Blues. They need a goal. He goes into the pocket, and he's kicked it out of bounds on the full. And he puts his arms out in the air going... I'm not sure he's got his arms out for. He kicked it out of bounds on the full. So Darcy Moore, deep in the back pocket for the Pies.
He's going to have to go. No, he's going to switch.
He's going to switch. He's got Jeremy Howe at the outside.
Outside 5.
Carlton have defended well here, though. Slowed him up. Still in the back pocket. 3:42 left on the clock. Someone's got a goal in, and Ginnivan up on the wing. Takes the mark. Long way from home. He's going to kick this ball into the corridor. True centre-half forward. The big rucks are in this contest. Darcy Cameron wanted the mark. Not paid. Carlton get the number back. It's Wiedering. Can he find a mark and relieve a bit of pressure? He can. Good kick. Finds Marchbank.
Great kick.
Just back of the wing. 3:13 on the clock.
He's got Curnow down the line to the boundary in a one-on-one. But
Blues hanging on by 5 points. It's been a 4-goal to zip quarter to the Pies. Mackay flies. Pendlebury stay down at ground level. Handballs inboard to Josh Dacos. They want to go through the corridor. The kick just misses Lipinski. Lockie O'Brien's had a good fourth turn. Fisher, Doherty, Jack Martin's all on his own. Durden's in this contest. Big ball to be won. Darcy Moore with a massive fist, and then Josh Dacos will mop it up at half back.
Had players everywhere at the Blues, and now it's the Pies' turn. To half forward, fisted away. DeGoey will get there first. Picked it up cleanly. Forward handball. Hoskin Elliott missed it. Opportunity back here for Carlton and Cottrell. Cottrell picked it up with a calm head. Went wide and looked for Mackay and got him. He's got Curnow on. Chips the ball. Curnow, look up, he can go. He's got Martin with a one-on-one. He's not going to go there. He's going to slow it up and wait for his big mate Mackay to get back in that half of the ground. So Curnow now loads up. Looking. Paddy Cripps with a flyer from the back. Can't mark it. Fist to the ground level. Dacos got it to Maynard. Maynard left footer into the middle. That's as good a kick as you'll see today. Pendlebury moves the ball. Looking for Ginnivan. Goes wide. Ginnivan needs to use the body. They got 2-on-1. Elliott will pick it up. Elliott closes to 40. Elliott puts the Pies in front. Oh, they just don't die, the Pies.
How smart was Ginnivan?
The real deal. And Elliott's got 2 in the last quarter, and the Pies lead by a point.
I just got to talk about Ginnivan there. That kick from Pendlebury, he knew he had Elliott, couldn't get it to him. He just blocked out so he could run onto the ball. Elliott, that's as smart as you'll see from a young player.
Gee, they had time to set up behind the ball, Carlton. I'm not sure how Jamie Elliott got forward all on his own.
1 minute 42.
And Charlie Curnow could have gone short to Durden. Instead, he went to a contest.
Has the pass up the middle from Maynard. That is as good as I think Brownie called it.
Yeah. That's as good a kick as you'll see. So
Sam Walsh can't look. He's in the box. Minute 42 on the clock. The Pies have kicked 5 goals to zip. They lead by a point. They can't do it again, can they? Lipinski wins the clearance, goes wide to half forward. Who's going to win this critical ball? Dacos is first to it. The ball set up for Sard. Cripps will win it. Pulls the kick to lead boots. Pitnet gets it back to Cripps. He runs into Pendlebury. Got the handball to Williams. Sees a player out wide. It's Doherty, who's been enormous in this game. Has Durden short. Can he take the mark? He does. 52 metres out. Fisher provides a lead.
Fisher's free inside 50. He's on his own. They've got to isolate him.
A draw will be enough for the Blues, but it's a shocking kick into the pocket, straight to Jeremy Howe, who's taken the mark.
Gee whiz, Fisher was unmarked inside forward 50. They needed to isolate, separate, and point him out.
Just need to put it to the top of the square and get it through.
Howe's going to be held up, and he's just going to pop it towards half-back. And there's going to be a boundary throw in 60 metres around from the Blues goal. They trail by a point. 44 seconds left. The most important clearance the Blues have had in 10 years.
How are the Bulldogs feeling?
Sick.
44 seconds to go. Nothing Michael Voss can do. All up to his players now. And that man, Paddy Cripps, gets the ball forward.
He took
and he's
him on.
pinged for holding the ball. He took him on.
Yes, it's you. Yes, wait.
What?
Blood rule. Pendlebury, blood rule, Collingwood.
Blood rule, Collingwood. So, we've still got 34 seconds to go. Pendlebury's the man coming off.
This should be the game from here, Brownie. Uncontested marks. They've got to set the field. Avoid the contest. Should be game over.
Kai's coming up the ground. He's got to make sure that he doesn't leave Howe back there.
Yeah, you don't want to go backwards, but you'll take it if you have to.
Absolutely.
Just chat to the ladder for a bit, Ash.
Well, at the moment, it's the Bulldogs who are currently inside the 8. There's 0.6% separating the Bulldogs and the Blues.
It doesn't feel right that the Blues will probably go down today, but Collingwood, as they always do, unbelievable under pressure, have kicked 4 in the last quarter, and they lead by a point with 30 seconds to go. Josh Dacos from half-back. He'll kick it to centre wing. The Pies want to mark. The Blues want the ball at ground level. Wiedering. Last roll of the dice. Bouncing ball. Collingwood pick it up. They get it out to Nick Dacos. He pushes it towards Hoskin Elliott. And Hoskin Elliott kicks the ball as far as he can. We're down to 10 seconds. 9-8. The Pies are going to get through with a thriller again. Can you believe it at the MCG? They've won by a point, the Pies. And the Blues miss out on September action. And agony to the Blues fans all over.
Look at the
But
ground.
well done again to Collingwood. 11-9, 75. The Blues are 10-14, 74. It's a miracle for the Pies again.
Look how quick the Carlton fans want to get out of the MCG.
Look at Andy Marr next door. He's collapsed. He's collapsed. What's happened?
Here comes the Collingwood song. They had their opportunities, the Blues.
Well, I think it's the lesson when you start poorly and you've got to come from 4 down. You've got to do everything right. It takes so much out of you to do what they did in the third quarter. And then as the game opened up, Collingwood just kept going through the corridor. Then the holes opened up and they took them and they took their opportunities. And look, it's heartbreaking for the Blues, but the Collingwood system, if you let it run, it will get you. You've got to play to the last second against them, not the minute, the last second.
Look at McRae and Voss on the boundary line, exchanging a big hug. How would Michael Voss be feeling right now?
2 games in a row as we head down Channel 7. They got the match winner, Jamie Elliott.
That last play, like Guinea, to be able to box out his man, like, it doesn't happen without the other boys, so I'm just on the end of him. So it's Cripps with the boy, like, oh, wow, that's awesome.
I think we're all stuck for words as well, but and the crowd.
Trying not to swear as well.
90-odd thousand here. The Collingwood home game is something pretty special, isn't it?
Super special. We've been saying all along, like, we're just riding the spirit, the emotion, and the I don't know, the enjoyment and the excitement we're bringing each week. We're just riding it. I mean, we're down by, 24 points in the last quarter. Ideally, we wouldn't be in that position, but it's like we get down and then we just want to play aggressive and it suits our game style. I want that every quarter, but we'll take learnings from that, and then obviously we've got an opportunity to, create some havoc in finals, and who knows where they can take us.
Top 4 spot locked and loaded. You've got to be happy with that too.
Another 2 weeks at least, which is nice. So we'll review this game and then we'll reset ourselves, enjoy a week off, and then launch into September.
You're a star, Jamie Elliott. Go and enjoy. Well done.
Says a lot about their footy club when you picked it up, Ross, and the first man he thanked was Ginnivan for the block that he got, that centre-half forward, and was able to put them in front and win by a point, 11-9, 75, 10-14, 74. Ash, just take us through some of the stats in that last quarter of Triple M Red Z Lending.
Unbelievable. So Carlton actually had 20 entries inside 50 in that final quarter, but registered just the 6 behinds. Collingwood so efficient. 11 entries, but they nailed 5 goals, 1, and they started to reduce the contested ball numbers. They only lost the contested ball by 6, and they broke even in the clearances. But the tail of the tape was the turnovers. 3 out of their 5 majors in that last quarter had come from Carlton turnovers.
Wow. What was that again, Chu?
3 out of the 5 majors for Collingwood in that last quarter had come from Carlton turnovers.
Yeah, so what was turnover scores for the day? Because the Carlton model just relies too much on stoppage.
Yeah, 54 to the Magpies to Carlton at 28, 26-point differential.
There was a few entries that were kickable too. The Charlie Curnow snap, the snap he had when he probably should have gone back over the mark. So
O'Brien.
2 of those they should have kicked, and then Mackay had one from about 55 out, but the kick from Durden late, which went to nobody when they needed to fill up, and Paddy Cripps tried to burst his way through.
Well, let's even be more specific. Young King from St Kilda's been slaughtered. Curnow, 2 goals 5, Mackay 2 goals 3, and Duck called it. They're getting him in shots for big power key forwards, 30 metres out. Shouldn't matter what side of the ground, and they just look, Mackay in particular looks uncomfortable, or Mackay. And Curnow just didn't get it. He's normally kicks well, but last week he didn't kick them. This week he hasn't kicked them, and they're losing close games because of it. So even for that, you have them out of their votes because your job is to put them through. I can't put you in the votes because you didn't finish your work.
So there's a ceremony going on the ground at the moment. Paddy Cripps coming up to the microphone. Both clubs are still out there.
They won the Best on Ground, Paddy Cripps.
Best on Ground award for Paddy Cripps. What are his numbers, Ash? Triple M Red Z Lending.
35 disposals, 27 contested ball, which is a PB for him. Throw in 12 clearances and 5 tackles.
It's a great honour to play in this game. We've had one of our best mates go through a tough battle this year, and it means so much to our group. To Collingwood, I wish you guys all the best. Admire what you guys have done this year, so go on to the finals. And lastly, I just like to thank all the fans that come out today, especially the Carlton supporters. Sorry couldn't get a dump in today. Thanks.
They'll be back next year, though. They've got a pretty good list, and they're going places, the Blues. This year's the Triple M Amy Review with the homeloans.com.au. Best and Fairest Award coming up when it comes to home loans. You go to homeloans.com.au, but Scotty Prenderbury up to receive the trophy.
I'd just like to thank the Pratt family to play for this. It means a great deal to both clubs, I know that, so thank you. To Carlton, thanks for a hell of a game. Took to the last second to break you, but thanks for the game, and I appreciate it. To the crowd, both sides, you guys are amazing. You make today so special for both of us to play in a game like we get to play in today. And to our boys, well done. Let's go.
So Collingwood just wrap it up, 11-9-75. Carlton 10-14-74. They've won by a point after the Blues led by 24 points at three-quarter time. What was the game high in the last quarter, Ash? Did it get to 25?
Yeah, Blues led by 25 points, Brownie. That was 5 minutes into the final quarter.
You're just looking at the scenes of the Blues, and they are a dejected football club at the moment. They had it in their grasp 2 weeks in a row, Ross, but just couldn't knock the opposition out at the right time.
Well, it's an elite competition, isn't it, AFL football, and you know, it challenges you on all fronts. They've had 65 entries to 44. I've experienced that grand final day. If you don't finish your work, you need to execute, and the key forwards, as good as they were, they let them down with the finish. And that should stay with them over summer. So, Mackay, let's hope he he works on his goal-kicking routine. He becomes more reliable. And either side of the ground, it shouldn't matter what he's on. He just needs to get his percentages up. And Curnow, who's normally a lovely kick, but over the last 2 weeks hasn't got it done. And they fumbled a bit early and dropped some marks. So I felt that was really costly for a midfield that delivered for them. Carlton forwards, once they got equal numbers, looked really dangerous. Let that be a lesson for Voss as well. Go forward, back our midfield in. We don't need the extra number there. We'll put it in. Collingwood put it in the last quarter. They put the extra number in to generate some ball, and that worked for them, and it gave Carlton the spare because they run and gun the ball and they use the outnumber through the corridor. You can bypass the spare. So strategically they learn a lot. And you can't come from behind against quality because it takes that much out of you. So, there's a lot of lessons and those tight finishes, that composure. Maynard, his ability to lower his eyes. Ginnivan, that composure, for a young player, that's a bit of plays you'll see for a long time. Hopefully Joe highlights it tonight. So all credit to Collingwood to get it done and find the way and hang in there. They'll challenge. Their midfield's a concern, but Maynard got thrown in there. Chris went the half-back. And then all of a sudden, to me, the pivotal moment in the last quarter was Quainer's mark at half-back. And they counter-punched through the corridor. And, because as Duck said, they hadn't been able to mark for a long time. So the Collingwood game is often based off those defenders marking the ball and going.
It's amazing when you win, you can think of a couple of big key moments, key acts, and then when you lose, you think of, the Cripps, the kick. There's just 2 or 3 little moments. There's moments over the whole game. Collingwood wasted some opportunities earlier in the game, in that first term. Obviously, we know how they just have so much belief, Collingwood.
Yeah, I reckon if we had talked back on Triple M tonight, I reckon all the Carlton fans will want to talk about is the free kicks. They didn't get inside 50 in that last quarter, and they were there.
I think Collingwood missed a few too.
Yeah, they probably did, but they pay. What I didn't understand today, and let's not pot the umpires because we had a ripping game. But they pay these Ticky Touchwood ones for little arms around, and sometimes little chops of the arm or whatever. And then there was some legitimate forward holding free kicks today that didn't get.
The bottom line is Carlton have kicked 10 goals and they kicked 7 in one quarter. So the first quarter they didn't get it done. And from the halfway through the last quarter, Collingwood dominated.
And just a little reminder, about 8 weeks ago, someone hitched their caravan to Elliott. Who was it? Oh, that's right.
We'll discuss that later, Doug.
Choice hotels around the grounds, book direct and save.
Early into the third quarter, and Sydney 9-3-57. They're leading the Saints by 22 points to a 5-5-35. So just on the live ladder there, Brownie, between Melbourne and Sydney. Melbourne's currently second on the live ladder, Sydney third. There is 1.4% separating those two sides.
Nice one, Ash. Triple M maybe review. Okay, well, Robbo's going to be down in the rooms in a minute, so we'll go down to Robbo. We've got Scotty Pendlebury to speak to, the skipper, and why not. Triple M MVP for homeloans.com.au, the best and fairest when it comes to home loans. Who's got them today?
Rossi's got them today, Brownie. Very difficult day because I didn't think there was too many four-quarter performances, but I've given one to Maynard. He started first couple of minutes on Cripps. Set up Collingwood early with the intensity. Then he went to half-back and did some dominant things, some intercepts, some smothers, some tackles. And then in the last quarter, they put Chris for half-back. He went back on ball and did some really good things again. I mean, that pass, his ability to hold his nerve and pull the trigger for the corridor actually resulted in that winning goal. So I've given one to Maynard. I thought Collingwood's midfield was lacking. I thought Pendlebury carried a load in there all day. His class and disposal. He had 26, 7 clearances, 6 tackles, 80% efficiency. I just thought when they were floundering around him, he made them look silly at times, everyone. And Cripps, for all the reasons we know, like 26, 27 contested ball. I just thought once he got going, he was a diesel, wasn't in. Almost dragged his team across the line. I feel for him. We'd love to see him play finals footy.
Maynard 1. Who was 2?
Pendlebury 2.
Pendlebury 2 and Cripps gets 3. We're going to head down to Robbo for Bob Jane T-Marts. He's in the Collingwood rooms.
Can't fit any more in here. You cannot fit any more here. And there's the cheer as the boys surface. And why not? This game has been building for a fortnight. I still can't believe that they outrolled this mob 75-74. Carlton to go down to Melbourne with 11 seconds to go. And now the Pies have got up. Top 4 double chance. As Pendles makes his way in here with his kids, they'll huddle, they'll hush, get the quiet so they don't scare the kids. And we'll talk to the skipper, number 10, 88,287 here. A massive build-up as it all quietens down. Here they go. Orchestrated by the skipper. Lots of kids. Suspense is killing me, and get ready for this. Doesn't it? Collingwood do not die. I think he used that in the call, and it was such a statement. So exciting down here.
All right, Robbo, we'll be back down in a couple of minutes, and you're getting Scotty Pendlebury, the skipper of the footy club, and I'm just seeing all the Collingwood players and how happy they are. Quainer had some big moments. Lipinski, I thought, was important. Ginnivan kicked through and then set up the winner at the end, and it's just been a great day at the MCG. 88,000 people have been here to witness what was a fantastic game of football. Mistake-ridden early in that first quarter, but I reckon from quarter time onwards, we got one of the games of the year, Duck.
Absolutely. It was a finals-type game, wasn't it? And we always say, and it's easy for us to sit up here, but we watch a lot of footy every week, and we say that when you have a dominant period, you just have to make the most of it. Carlton did that in the third term, and then Collingwood did it in the last. And you look how wasteful Carlton were in the last. So, like Ross said, and that's why that finishing off the hard work, it also deflates the blokes that do all the hard work, the blokes that put their head over the footy on the wing or go back with the flight in defence. It deflates them that little bit when you go back and just don't finish off what they deliver to you. So it can be very deflating. I mean, I can't imagine how the Carlton boys are feeling. I've lost a preliminary final by a kick after the siren, and it's just shattering. I mean, it'd be the same feeling that they're having now to go in and a whole summer now. You just hope it burns. Just hope it burns and it lights that fire that they can go to that next level. I do believe they've got more injuries than anyone else. They had some key injuries today through that middle.
Well, their starting midfield was missing. Walsh is a superstar, and you got Hewitt, who's been a star from this year, and Kennedy. Yeah. You could argue that's his starting midfield.
Adams was out, obviously, for Collingwood, but they've got a lot to look forward to, Carlton. They've got to use this, though, through the summer and come back bigger and better next year.
Ash, let's take us through a potential final series.
Okay, so week one, the qualifying finals will look like at this stage Geelong versus Collingwood.
Wow.
Melbourne versus Sydney, or depending how much Sydney defeats St Kilda by, it could be Sydney v Melbourne. So either at the MCG or the Sydney Cricket Ground. They're the qualifying finals.
Sydney beat them here last time they played.
They did too, Duck, yep. And then we look at the elimination finals. Fremantle will host a home final against the Bulldogs. It's 5th versus 8th. And Brisbane will take on Richmond up at the Gabba in the other elimination final, Brownie.
Nice work, Ash. Very good work.
Thanks, Dad.
Just pondering again.
Just pondering our next move.
Well, there's so many scenarios.
Just waiting for Robbo to get Scotty Pendlebury, obviously, and just looking down into the rooms. And Robbo will be with us in a minute.
Well, Carlton,
what are you pondering, Rob?
Well, Carlton have gone forward. There's no doubt about that. I just think there's enormous upside for them. I think their coaching group learned to, we trust our midfield a bit more and give our forwards equal numbers. We're very hard to stop. You know, the excitement of Motlop, the small forward, I just think Stocker really grew. They found Setterfield and Doherty, a midfielders. So
Lewis Young?
Yeah, Lewis Young. Out of the wreck, there's some real positives. But it just doesn't happen, as Duck said. So, you know, it should be burning in their guts. When they come back first day, hopefully they've got PBs in their running and their skin folds, and they're sending a message to Michael Voss that we want to be successful. Not as good enough is close enough.
Gee, Jamie Elliott's had some big moments this season. The kick after the siren, a big mark, as big a mark as you'll see in the last quarter, kicked the goal, and then went back after the block from Ginnivan, and it was still a hard goal to kick. I mean, he was only 10 metres in from the boundary.
I thought he should have been giving it to Ginnivan.
Yeah, absolutely. And so did Ginnivan. And then when it went through, Ginnivan was like, that's pretty good, actually.
But that's their responsibility and the confidence in your technique, isn't it? And it never looked in doubt. And, gee, for the Pies, Johnson, he's goal kicking. But that's the difference. At the end of the day, Ginnivan and Johnson kicked the harder goals, and I just thought Curnow and Mackay missed really what they should have been getting.
They just needed to finish off those goals at the end, and then I just thought that the time Paddy Cripps didn't get the free kick in front of goal, goes back up the other end. The same thing for Ash Johnson, the block, and just a few things went against the Blues. But the Pies copped the raw end of a couple of them as well. But just wrapping up, well, not wrapping up here, but just summarising the game, 11-9-75. Collingwood won by a point over the Blues, 10-14-74. The Pies kicked the only 5 goals of the last quarter and ended up winning by a point. Just give us some of the biggest ball winners, Ash, on Triple M Red Z Lending while we wait for Robbo.
Yeah, Patrick Cripps, Brownie, well done. You're doing well. 35 touches, a PB in terms of contested ball at 27. The next player in line for the Blues who won the most number of contested ball was Chera with 12s. Cripps also had 12 clearances and 8 entries inside 50. Doherty, 29 and 6 clearances. Chera busy with 27 and a couple of goals and 6 clearances. As you mentioned, Charlie Curnow, 2 goals, 5 this week on the back of 1-4 last week. Mackay, 16 disposals, 10 marks and 2 goals, 3. And for the Magpies, 28 to Dacos, 26 to Pendlebury, 25 to Nick Dacos, and 3 majors to Ginnivan.
I'm just looking down at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen at the moment, and every Collingwood player is being interviewed, and I'm looking around at Robbo. Maybe we have to send Jay-Z down there. We're looking for Pendles. Okay, he's now got Jeremy Howe, who was really good in the back end, took a couple of big marks. I thought he took Mark of the Year today, and the umpire said, absolutely play on. Was it Mark of the Year, Howie?
Well, I asked the central umpire, I was like, surely, how long? And he goes, what would you have done? He goes, I probably would have paid it. I was like, surely. Nah, it's all good, Dave. I think Billy topped it in the end there anyway.
Yeah, we couldn't find Pendles, but Howie, if you see him, just shout out. But, gee, Collingwood, never say die. Unbelievable effort to get over this mob today.
Yeah, we discussed internally about playing every minute. You'd like to hope that most games don't come down to the last minute, but it's kind of been our story this year. And yeah, the guys' fight right to the very end has been really pleasing, and we've done it all year, and we've had to grind it out tonight against a quality outfit in Carlton, and it was a hell of a game, and stoked to get on the right side. Yeah,
that third quarter, Carlton, Michael Voss's fingerprints all over it. They kicked 8 goals, and gee, they looked invincible, but just somehow owned the corridor in the end. You had nothing to lose, and everything fell into place.
Yeah, like games do have ebbs and flows, and to their credit, they jumped on when they had momentum, and it's a bit of a tidal wave there at one stage. It just felt like any time they had an opportunity, they kicked the goal. So, yeah, they kicked 8, and I don't even think we kicked 1. But, yeah, like I said, we kind of literally just had a crack in that last quarter. It's like, let's just see what can happen, and, it probably brought our best for the day.
He actually did kick 1 in that run of 8 that they had, and it was a left footer from 45 from Jack Ginnivan. I want to talk about him for a minute because he's had everything thrown at him this year, and I know he brings a fair bit on himself, and I love watching him play, but the block to get Elliott out late in that last quarter to kick the winner was just something that a lot of people wouldn't notice, but the Collingwood faithful would have.
Yeah, well, I think he works really well with Jamie down there. He's probably arguably our greatest blocker, Billy off ball, and Guinea puts in a lot of time in during the week, and he's got a guy that he can look up to in Jamie, and yeah, they're just small things that people probably don't realise, but our forwards are doing a lot of selfless play, and they'll get their lick every time. We keep doing that anyway.
Howie, I thought you dominated the game early, and just like Carlton did in the last term, you just weren't able to finish off the good work. How deflating is that when you took a stack of intercept marks, you defenders, in that first quarter? In actual fact, the first half, I think you took 16. I think it was 2-man, and then they took that away from you. Do you feel that when you're out on the ground?
Oh, certainly. It's it'd be ideal when you kind of got the momentum, you want to capitalise and hit the scoreboard, and we kicked a few points, and unfortunately we probably didn't put the gap in that we felt like we deserved. But yeah, like I said, and then it was probably the opposite for Carlton. They kind of took their chances in that third and really put the pressure on us, and to bounce back in that last quarter when there's a heap on the line was really pleasing for the boys.
And we loved the move of Maynard at the start on Cripps, and he got the half back, and then when you needed him again, Crisp the half back, and Maynard had the bull, and he pulled that kick up the middle. He just got really held his nerve, didn't he, and contributed well through there.
Yeah, Bruzzy's a big tough prick, and so it was like, we expect it from him all the time, but he's got a beautiful left foot as well. Probably goes underrated. Everything, he just gets in biffos and starts every fight, but he's actually a classy user, and it's just showing a real bit of flexibility at the moment. We can get a bit of bite in the midfield, but we love playing him down back as well.
You come up against the Cats next week, but with the record you've had this year, you'd have to think you can beat anyone, anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, certainly. We'll give ourselves every chance. Is that played at the G, is it? Or
it certainly is.
Yeah, you beauty. We'll take that. So,
let me tell you can play a final down there.
No, look, yeah, we're really looking forward to it, but I'm looking forward to the next 2 days off, to be honest, so it'll be good.
Jeremy, congratulations on a great win again. Go and enjoy it, and good luck against the Cats in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, boys.
Jeremy Howe there, high fly. Thought he took mark of the week.
Oh, that was
thought he took
huge
mark of the year today. It wasn't paid by the umpire, but I'm just being told by the producers, and this is not me, Ross, we're going to play the final goal, which I called. So, Curnow now loads up. Looking. Paddy Cripps with a flyer from the back. Can't mark it. Fish to the ground level. Dacos got it to Maynard. Maynard left footer into the middle. That's as good a kick as you'll see today. Penderbury moves the ball. Looking for Ginnivan, goes wide. Ginnivan needs to use the body. They've got 2 on 1. Elliott will pick it up. Elliott closes to 40. Elliott puts the Pies in front. Oh, they just don't die, the Pies.
Well, you know what was great about that?
The crowd.
The call?
No, me and Duck had it. It's got to come back to us, right? We took our medicine, didn't say anything.
That was good.
That was a great call.
It was a good call because you got all the elements right. Well done, Ben.
Thank you, Duck.
Outstanding.
It's been a great
Outstanding,
day. It's been our
Brownie.
last Sunday of the year. Ross, you've been outstanding. So honest. Ash, you've been great.
Thanks,
Joey. Joey's left already. Only 3 quarters.
See you,
of it.
Joey.
And Duck, as always, you are the king of everywhere. Thanks to the boys in the back. They did a great job all year. And all the boys back in South Melbourne doing, I think Leroy's back on today. So the Pies have won by a point and they're into the top 4. They'll play the Cats in a couple of weeks' time, 11-9-75. They've beaten the Blues 10-14-74 for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.